My 9mm gonna make you drop. I talk about my 9.
Yeah, boulette de gazelle, concon ange, il est destiné pour le monde, quoi. C'est conservé par le fait.
When bullets fly by, when bullets fly by, what you gonna do when bullets fly by, when bullets fly by, when bullets fly by, what you gonna do when the bullets fly by, what you gonna do when the bullets fly by, what you gonna do when the bullets fly by, what you gonna do when the bullets fly by, what you gonna do when the bullets fly by, pop, pop when you hear the block, love down nigga cause I'm in your spot, give it up nigga, you might get shot, I'm the hot shot, so you gonna get shot, any nigga out here might build a pop.
I might as well say this since I put in the title of the video. Yeah, these idiots are mad. This all comes down to, this is very complicated, but the government makes a lot of money selling nuclear reactors to countries, and then GE comes along and sells bullshit reactors to places like Fukushima, where the submarine reactor, when it melts down, is designed to drop out. So that's what happened in Fukushima. They don't want to talk about this. The reactor core dropped into the earth. Now it's China syndrome, meaning it's going into the earth and it will never stop. They don't want to talk about that. So that's the same idiots here. General Electric and Hitachi. Yeah, Hitachi run this place here. So they changed the name because I made the hashtag because of me. That's how much they hate me. They can't find me on video doing anything to their shit. They can't find me at the protest, nothing, because I don't do nothing. I just tell people the truth. They changed the name to whatever this bullshit is. Nuclear Energy Canada Inc. Right. Well, because the place has been here so long, it's basically grandfathered in no matter what, because none of this housing is supposed to be here. Listen to this. Did you know in 2019, blah, 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 released 7 grams of uranium into the air over the entire year? Yeah, and 3,000 grams into the sewer. Thanks. Yes, they did. Anyway, it says one dump truck filled with 10 cubic yards of soil contains about 18 grams of uranium. That's not true, except across the street at the facility General Electric used to own. Making transformers and shit, polychlorobiphenyls. Here's the problem. So in 1988, something like that, they banned the production of, but not the storage of PCBs, because what would have happened? All the companies would have dumped the shit illegally instantly. Right, that's how they do things today in Canada. Morons. In any event, the shit's been leaking out forever, and you can see it in the soil they dug out from this place here, and I've got samples of it all over my wall. Oh, well, you're a dirty heathen bastard. You should clean up and be more like a white person. No, this oil on the wall, I'm going to show it to you right now. Oh, you can't see it, but on the door. Oh, yes, you can see it. What the fuck is that? Exactly. So while they were excavating the site across the street, they made no efforts whatsoever to remediate dust or anything. So you could sit and watch for 12 hours a day a cloud of dust coming across the street. Let's pretend this is the building. Coming across the street and blowing up the building. And coming in the windows, of course. And the building management is so smart, they kept turning the ventilation off. Yeah, turning it off. Yeah, so everybody's smoking shit's going out into everybody's unit. Right, it's our fault. Oh, you can't smoke weed because we want to turn off the fire suppression system. You fucking retarded. Yeah, that's why the fires in black buildings keep spreading from unit to unit and floor to floor, but not in the white buildings. It's the ventilation. Oh, these buildings stink. They smell. They got to do something about these others. Yeah, they got you complaining about the ventilation system, the air that's supposed to blow out by the elevators. That's not optional air conditioning or some shit, eh? That's to push the fucking air out of the building. That's mandatory ventilation so you don't die when you go to sleep and then just don't wake up in the morning because the building's just airtight. Because it's another obsession white people have is sealing our buildings airtight. Oh, it's got to be airtight, airtight. Why? I need to breathe. Oh, what do you need oxygen for? In any event, all of that shit there is the dust and shit that blew in the windows and stuck to the walls. And you can see it dribble down, but it stopped dribbling when they stopped digging. Yeah, it stopped. Yeah, that's fucked up. That's oil. That's why I don't touch it. It's PCBs. Oh, what's the problem with that? No, stop. They're radioactive. Oh, shit. Yeah, this is all one facility from DuPont all the way up to fucking Davenport. Is one facility on both sides of the street. Oh yeah, all these houses, all these people that just moved here. Well, I got this job now. I'm gonna do the. Well, I'm the head at. I'm the head cashier at the fucking grocery store where the assistant manager is from this place or that place. It's a corporate store. You don't know shit. It's got to be corporate. Who the fuck would have bought into that? If he did buy in, he's a moron. The building's crooked and the fucking thing's got radioactive PCBs, and he hates me too because I know this shit. Yeah, because these guys told him, oh, you're a bad guy, you're a bad guy. Anyway, you can catch this fucking idiot out front smoking meth and using a vaporizer, screaming and yelling at random members of the public. Yes, you can. He called the cops on me. And the cops tried throwing me through the fucking front window of the building on video. Oh, yeah, with audio because somebody used a fucking camera. That's on this channel. Oh, I'm making all of this up, right? You took a picture of something you're not supposed to take a picture of. My Bill, yeah, he's a French guy with a Chinese accent. I don't know. He's fucking. He's took a picture of my building. I'm walking down the street. This weirdo's running behind me, hiding behind phone pole, like literally hiding behind a phone pole with his phone going like this on his phone. So I turn around and say, "Phone, I don't know who the fuck he is. He's some method in the neighborhood." Yeah, he buys dope off our people, and they hate finding out that they killed a bunch of fucking squaws and half-breed nigger lovers. Got their way, got their way, got their way, got their way. They don't talk about all the guys dying all the time or how you're only allowed to work 6 days in the mine in your whole life. Or they don't talk about that. They don't talk about how many people drop dead that work at this place. I've been living next door 8 years and it's the same people working there. I used to see U.S. soldiers going in and out. No, they're not in uniform. Yeah, you idiots walk around like you're in uniform all the time. Oh, we got to salute the flag and do this and that. Why? What's any of that got to do with anything? Can you do the job? No, you can't. You can't keep this fucking idiot from smoking meth. Is he buying it here? No. Moron. He's a moron. That's what made him so fucking angry. Everything made this fucking idiot angry. I'd like to reintroduce myself. Don't believe me? This is a shit. This is not gonna transfer well, but he's built like he should be a big boy, and he's skin and bones. You can see the skin hanging off his bones in this picture that they chose for the newsletter. So you can look that newsletter up yourself because the picture's not going to transfer that well. They hate us. They hate us. Oh, the traditional Aboriginal leaders are telling you to stop pretending to be niggers and doing gang shit. Okay, hold on a second. Who started gangs? White people. Okay, we are black, so we are part of black gangs. We didn't copy anything. You want us to... Why? Because we're making the money back off these fucking assholes. What'd you get with all that money? Oh, they'll pay you $250,000 for 2 weeks' work, and you're never allowed to work anywhere near uranium ever again. Oh, but if you only do it for 2 weeks, you'll be okay. Really? Really? You know who does that job? Crackheads and people that are dying. What they do with the money? Spend it all on meth. Oh, this is where you go look up the FBI, DEA, RCMP, whatever UN narcotics control shit, and they'll tell you the entire East Coast down to about North Carolina is run by. Anyway. And that's why I listen to French rappers from so far back. These guys might be dead.
Yeah, vous l'êtes au gazelle, concours ange, you're dessiné pour le monde, quoi. C'est conservé par le fait.
I think I'm making that up. 1964, you think I'm making that up?
What you gonna do when the bullets fly? 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 Pop, pop, when you hear
well, you recognize the green book if you know what it is. Occupational Health and Safety Act and Regulations for industrial establishments.
When you gonna get shot, any nigga out here might build a pop. My 9mm gonna make you drop. I talk about my 9 cause the shit's so hot. When shit goes down, he's ready to pop. He's stressed out, and I'm trigger happy. I gotta hit the light and it feels so nasty. Believe me. This shit ain't easy. I'm a nigga with attitude, so fuck you pussies. When bullets fly by, when bullets fly by, what you going through when them bullets
What's the problem, big bad tough cop is gonna beat me up? Your mommy die of cancer? Oh, did she lose the titties and everything? Did you not get your baby D drops? I heard you had a baby D turn there. I don't know. I thought I heard that.
What you going through when the bullets fly by? What you going through when the bullets fly by?
Mind freak. I think that might have been my favorite nickname.
Like a goose or snitch to the cops. Me, I cock back, let it go for the power. Bullets fly by like a
I'm laughing in the back of the paddy wagon at these idiots. The fucking, I think it was the fucking, oh no, that was another guy. Same night. The old white guy. Mind freak! And he fucking watches.
I let my bullets fly by.
I know nothing about Chris Angel or nothing like that. I guess this guy watched TV.
I'm killing this
what I did fucking set him off.
When my bullets fly by. When bullets fly by, when bullets fly by. What you going through when them bullets fly by? When bullets fly by, when bullets fly by. What you going through when them bullets fly by? What you going through when them bullets fly by? What you going through when them bullets fly by? What you going through when them bullets fly by? What you going through when them bullets fly by?
Yo, cricket caca.
Yeah.
Who make up funny caca, yo?
Everyday niggas talking shit. Like they tough in the
Motherfucker following me like that. I don't know, half a
but they
kilometer.
not, nigga.
Ducking behind phone poles and shit. When I turn around and start to go, what the fuck's going on? Why did that follow me? Just to run. I run after him. He ends up chasing. He ends up running straight into the nuclear place. The gate opens. He runs in.
Can't see the zone records.
Boy, I should have run in there chasing him. Well, I knew where the fuck to find him. It was strange, but I knew where the fuck to find him, so I didn't care after that.
When bullets fly by, when bullets fly by, what you going through when the bullets fly by?
I continue about my day. An hour and a half later when I come home, you don't even know who lives next to you, but you're gonna call the cops on people like that. You don't even know who they're out there smoking all day. You can't fucking keep an eye on who walks by every day. I get it. It's a sensitive facility. Strange people might try something. There's like 6 signs on the gate that say, "Do not stop here. You can't drop deliveries here. You can't stop here. No parking because of the load regulations." Fucking delivery. I can't remember what one of these courier companies. So yeah, it don't matter which one. You take one guess at the race. One of these courier company delivery trucks is stopped right in front of the gate. I see it. I know that's not supposed to be there. That would be a new guy or something. No, it's not new. He just wants to do things his way. Do it his way. There's 6 fucking signs. Rasta man, cussing and cursing, turn around because they won't take the goddamn package at the gate. There's signs that you can't, like a whole bunch of different ways of explaining. You can't stop here because there's a road here. Rasta man.
TBA, No, we don't play, motherfucker. It's like, I mean, that's it. Fucking smoke too much. Hey yo, I'm getting stomach pains, I'm getting pain in the brain, it's driving me insane from things that I did last night to train. It's what I'm saying, man, you gotta understand, I got no chain of swing, broke as fucking look at the things. I'm working 9 to 5, and that's all that's
out. Yeah, you can barely see it.
I'm never gonna make it right.
You don't have to believe me.
Cause I'm so hungover. Cause last night I just opened an ocean, making me not sober. Getting drunk as fuck, not pumping the skull. Even though I should be buzzing, but just get me minute up. Medicated, so this is why I will just start to state this, that I am a rapper who started to really fucking hate this. Simple fact that I'm an illa cat with spitting shit, and all you other cats get smacked for half of my writtens. It's amazing when I'm freestyling, cause I am the sickest, I am the quickest, I can punch you through all the thickest. Blades of armor, I mean the blades of armor get clipped, you get bombed on, I'm sick, and I'm always dropping the shit. Simplistic kid who spits the ridiculous shit, and this is how they always talking, cause it's so sick of his shit. I see shit like 60 times, you cats are sick of the way that I rhyme, and of the way that I rip. real. I rap and ramble or rapper all too hard. I mean, I'll rip you apart and then expose on your heart. Rip it out of your chest and show you that I'm the best. So all the times that you talking shit, I am the best. Yes, I am so fresh. You are nothing less than a punk. Wanna talk a lot of shit, but kid, you talking, you chump. Need to realize something that I ain't playing, Munchkin. Some half-ass rapping muffins. Some half-ass rapping muffins. Shit, bro.
And that they need to ensure
Bring it back.
Did somebody send you an attachment on MSN and now your company disappears?
That they need to be more prepared.
My boss is
there are
serious.
mechanisms like becoming
doesn't have any
ISO
money
certified,
anymore,
which
so
is the
it's okay.
International Standards Organization,
Still.
and developing policies, protocols, and systems that they are aware of how they are going to host and use data while they're using all these digital technologies.
He adds that there can be serious consequences if you do not prioritize data security during this time.
Well, I have to
You're
stay
seeing
after
it in the
school.
news every day. Companies are being breached. Organizations are hacking databases. And you're not going to stop this from happening, protecting yourself 100%. But what you can do is mitigate and reduce the risk. And the only way that companies can do it is
methods.
create the awareness
You know
that
the
they need to be
methods.
more
You put them
prepared.
to work
While
purposes.
companies
Send them
work
to
to
get
keep
coffee. They're
data
good at that.
Perlman says we also need to strive to make it accessible for all Canadians.
The
Make it easy for
pandemic
them.
has been a
4 or
perfect
8 or
example
12.
where governments want to be able to track information of where the pandemic has gone. They need people to share that information. So by educating and being transparent how you're using this information,
Information wants to
really
be free, all of us
reduces the
on
anxiety
that.
about sharing
Heard that
information,
somewhere
and
before.
also it allows individuals to ask questions how their personal information will be protected.
Adam Perlman is the founder and CEO of Delvinia. At the Business Center, I'm Carl Garnash.
With TD Insurance, there are so many ways to save, we can't fit them all in this ad. But this guy can try.
Alumni and professional preferred rates.
The conviction-free bonus.
Discount, mortgage free discount, multi-vehicle discount, driver training savings, winter tire discount, driver's excellent discount, conviction-free savings, claims-free savings,
Conviction-free savings. Oh, yeah, I can.
and many more.
These assholes been trying to talk too fast for me for a long time. Oh, you can't hear me because I talk so fast.
That's what confidence feels like.
That's what they tried to last week, but you couldn't hear me because... Really? Fuck, what was that about that thing?
Hi, I'm Laura Pedone, Quality Control Manager at Monte Carlo Inns.
We will rent by the half
We know it's
hour,
not business as
maybe
usual.
45
In
minutes.
these unprecedented times, we are here for you. Should you need an office away from home or just a comfortable night's sleep, we are taking additional measures to ensure your health and safety. By doing so, we will do our best to make Monte Carlo Inns your home away from home.
I don't even know what is a fucking Monte Carlo is. You could have told us that, you fucking moron. Gee, great. You've done all this stuff to help me that I don't know who the fuck you are. Never stayed with you before. Where are you located? No idea. I don't use the internet. Well, because all these companies, if I go there, you think their Wi-Fi works for free? No. So why would anybody else then use their Wi-Fi to look it up? Oh, business good, but you guys don't have it. I take 2 years off at a time hustling. That's why you assholes can't find me. I took 6 years off at the last 10 because I felt like it, buddy. Oh. Go check my bank records. Stupid. I'm disabled. I don't do nothing. I fucking hustle because I feel like it. Well, doesn't it piss off people that need the money? No, not really, because we're all in the same boat. All these others, suppose you got all these hypothetical, this type of drug dealer, this type of criminal in your books. I know I got the books, Canadian criminology. Where is it? Oh, I got Canadian criminology for dummies or something. And that'd be perfect. I stole it from you. You took the money you stole from supposedly my people, but that's the bank account that your people are supposed to hold on our behalf. So who's stealing? Who's going to put who in jail for that? You're going to have white people holding white people in jail for stealing the money they said they were going to give to me. That's funny, because the Indians are just sitting here doing the same shit we've been doing for 500 years anyway. Wow, these white people fucked up. Oh, aren't you sad about your language and this and that and this and that? You know, programming languages and computer languages change all the time. So be upset. You studied the language all the hell. If I use it, I'm going to get caught. Fuck that. And you studied it all the hell, didn't you? So I'm not worried about it. Oh, that's perfect. If my kids learn that one, they won't know the fucking drug dealing shit I'm doing, because I'm not going to do it in that language. I'm more sacred snake the butter than you are, or whatever. Black man has some sort of hypocrisy. He doesn't even know the language. What? No, not really, but better that I don't. Hey, you said the Mac drug dealers and everything. I never said I smoked Big Mac. I just spoke French. You keep telling me I speak English. Okay. You never send a French cop or a French judge or French lawyer, so you don't know what the fuck I'm up there. I'm the idiot and I'm the fucking criminal mastermind at the same time. So I'm the retarded criminal mastermind that's stolen. I'm very confused by your allegations, officer. You told us to a judge. We will make a day of it, bro.
You never know which way you're gonna go till you pick the right road and you watch the fucking snow go down from the clouds, up from the underground. What you wanna know, man? You walking up, fucking sound.
Oh, that's much.
Keep it polarized. Everybody knows the record deal. Eyes so blazed on that fucking purple haze.
All the gang signs. That's right. I forgot about it. Those are gang signs. I forgot about it. I should be careful where I throw those. I think I'm doing it on video and I'm not like on a street corner. So you're gonna say that it's not doing cars.
Currently 10 degrees, sitting, feeling more like 8 degrees. 680 Toronto police investigating several reports of shootings throughout the city, from Scarborough to North York.
Well,
the
no,
first
the
of
internet
which
went
happening
off,
in
so how do you know?
Scarborough.
I guess
Toronto
you have
police
to
say the call
collaborate
came
with the
in just
drug
after
police
9 at Finch Avenue East
But
and
the fact
Markham
is,
Road.
I know I
Now,
can
victim
prove
was
that shit all
found
day, but you
taken to
gotta pay
hospital
in
with
the ass
serious
trying to
but
say someone else where I
non-life-threatening
wasn't.
gunshot wounds. There's no
Oh,
details
he's got
just
like
yet
6
about their
prepaid cell
age.
phones in there. Okay, tap. Every cell phone that uses these towers.
Police were then
Okay,
called
I guess
to
that's what
Lawrence
we'll do,
and
man.
Varna Drive, east of the Allen in North York, for reports of a drive-by
I
shooting.
got a house
And
full,
then
but
just
every time
before
I put
11
the number
o'clock,
into every time I do
officers
certain
received a
things, the
call
video
for
fucks up. Look at
gunshots
this
in the
stuff.
area of Kingston and Markham Roads in
I'm in
Scarborough.
the yellow
They
pages now,
discovered
dog.
shell casings. There are no reports of injuries or suspects in either of those two cases. You're listening to All News Radio, 680 News at 1:34. The City of Toronto launching a new COVID-19 monitoring dashboard as officials work to reopen the city safely.
Can we get a
680's
B19
Madison
monitoring
Fitzpatrick has
dashboard,
those
please?
details. This new dashboard will
No,
explain the
then I'll
current
do it.
state of the
The Black
virus spread in the city. It has 4 main categories: virus spread and containment, lab testing, health system capacity, and public health capacity. Dr. Eileen Davila says those categories will be labeled much like a stoplight. The colors we have chosen to indicate our status are green, which is a sign when indicators have met their goals.
I think the black
Yellow,
boys might
which
step
is
up
a
and do
sign when
something about that.
indicators
Something
have
like
not
that.
yet met their
They
goals
usually
and
do
still
that
need
like
attention.
that. Except that
And
kid,
red,
you
which is a
just
sign when
wonder why this
indicators
white boy
are
like,
consistently
you'll do
trending
this,
away
and you'll
from
do that, and you'll
and
charge
not
me with
meeting
this,
their
and you'll go to
goals.
jail with all the
Currently
black boys,
online, the
and they look
dashboard
like they
shows
start
that
laughing
Toronto's
at me.
current
You're
overall
talking
status is
about,
yellow,
officer.
and none of the 4 categories are marked as
Oh.
red. You can view the
And that's
dashboard
why I have to
yourself
eat
at
the cheap cuts and meat and everything.
toronto.ca/COVID-19.
Yeah. We
I'm
got the
Madison
access to the
Fitzpatrick.
spices.
You're listening to
Cheap cuts
680
and meat,
News.
right,
Most of
right.
Ontario,
That's what
outside the
Cantonese
GTHA,
and the
moves into the latest
Dutch
stage of
and
reopening today, meaning
Dutch
patios
food. Yeah,
and
well, we have
salons
access to
are
it,
getting
but
back
the
to
average
a
Dutch
new
person
normal.
is considered
680's
rich.
Mark Douglas is in
Technically,
Cambridge
it's like this.
with a
We have a
look
great
at how
country.
that city is faring today.
Yeah,
A
we're
patio
wealthy in
with a
some
drink
sense.
and a friend in the sun out here in Cambridge in stage
Lived in the
2.
Netherlands the
It's
last
not
400
just a
years. You
memory
got access to
anymore.
everything because it all comes
Feels
through.
great. Feels great.
How long have you been waiting for this?
Well, we all have so looks at all the different prices you get at every different market. No, that's not for you. We'll get more for it somewhere else. We'll sell some for you. We'll put somewhere else
Toronto
on
and the Golden Horseshoe are still in stage 1 of the provincial plan to reopen the economy. So is Windsor. But the rest of Ontario began stage 2 at 12:01 a.m. That means not only restaurant patios, but hair salons, spa treatments, and so much more, all available again.
I'm getting my nails done, and it feels great because I am getting back to normal.
Anisha here tells me it's great to be back inside a shopping mall, but wonders if it could all be locked up again if the pandemic numbers out here spike.
I feel like within a week we're gonna get a second wave.
In Cambridge, I'm Mark Douglas.
And beginning in a couple of weeks, the city will gradually start to reopen its dozens of childcare centers. 680's Michelle Mackey joins us with the latest from Mayor Tory during his daily briefing on Friday.
Despite the province giving the okay, Mayor John Tory says Toronto isn't ready to restart its 47 childcare centers.
We're working to reopen our city child care centers as quickly as we
Why
can.
have 47 daycares and 300 baseball fields?
All of the
Yeah, priorities wrong.
provincial requirements and public health guidelines established to stop the spread of COVID-19.
How about
this has
with
to
the
be
private
done.
operators run the baseball fields?
Tory says
Let the city run the daycares. Well, we might have some kind of accountability.
That's why gradual reopening won't start until June 29th. That also allows for the emergency child care centers to wrap up. Tory also promises to continue advocating for additional support from the provincial and federal governments to expand child care in the city, something he says was needed even before the pandemic began. I'm Michelle Mackey. You're listening to 680 News at 1:37. The CEO of Sienna Living, a long-term care provider with homes in Ontario and BC, has resigned. The homes were some of the worst hit by COVID-19. According to a media release, CEO Lois Cormack has stepped down, effective immediately from her role as president and board director as well. Sienna Living operates Altamont Care Community in Scarborough, one of the homes in which the military was called in to assist. Cormack is replaced by Nathan Cheyenne, the former CFO and chief investment officer. Cineworld PLC says it's terminated its $2.8 billion takeover of Cineplex. The decision was made after Cineworld says Cineplex committed, quote, certain breaches of the acquisition deal. The UK cinema operator did not know the specifics of which parts of the transaction it believes Cineplex ran afoul of, but the London-based company noted that Cineplex has denied any such breaches. The representative for Cineplex could not immediately be reached for comment.
Which one did
And with the recent deaths of DeAndre Campbell and Regis Kerchinsky-Paquette, people are asking, should police officers who discharge their weapon and kill
Campbell's a slave name. Let's change the road name. It's a
investigators. Janelle Massa of City News spoke to former investigator Andre Moran about whether or not they should.
The question is being raised once again as the province's police watchdog revealed yesterday that an officer who pulled the trigger at a Brampton complex back in April, killing a young black man, still has not given an interview or provided his notes to the Special Investigations Unit 2 months after the incident.
You provide them with guns, with surveillance on, and so with that, I think should come increased accountability.
The family of DeAndre Campbell, the man killed by Peel police, say the 26-year-old had mental health issues and was the one who called 911 in the first place for help. Now, Peel police add that officers typically do remain on active
why did they send the type of people to try to appease me?
And that's because they have not yet been found guilty.
They know if they fuck around with me on these certain things, it will go.
The city's active TO initiative taking place again this weekend, meaning more than 10 kilometers of Toronto streets will be shut down from 6 this morning until 11 tomorrow night. This includes the eastbound lanes of the Lakeshore from Windermere to Stadium and from Leslie to just south of Woodbine. Bayview will also be closed from Front to Rosedale, and River is shut down from Gerrard to Bayview. The city says the goal is to allow people the space to walk, run, and cycle on city streets while also practicing physical distancing.
And if you're planning to take transit to get around this weekend, there is a closure to keep in mind. There will be no service on Line 1, the Young University line from Shepherd.
Didn't you see how much time that saved her to say Line 1 instead of Young University? Yeah, we don't know which one's Line 1. How the fuck would Line 1? It's not like there's a main line and a secondary, and that's not how it's set up here.
Breaking news when it happens.
They want to run subways everywhere.
The 680 News gas price update and process. The price went down 3 cents at midnight. It's still at 97.9 cents a liter at most GTA stations. Traffic and weather together next. 680 News Time, 1:40.
The impact of COVID-19 is being felt.
So there's different reasons I have to go up into North York sometimes, and the subway I didn't know. The subway now runs all the way to Finch or Steeles or past there, wherever. If I used to stop at Downs, one stop past Downsview or some shit. Anyway, point is, for decades they just refused to extend the subway, and then, we'll run the subway through the niggerhood as long as we get to run our stops into the white suburbs. Okay, well, what's the point in that? Like they've been told for decades that will never pay for itself, but they would not give us the line that will pay for itself unless they also get that other line. They have to have. Well, we wouldn't have the extension of the subway. What are they doing now with the other side of it? This line 1 or whatever. They're gonna run it up into Richmond Hill or some shit. Those kids ain't riding the fucking subway. And we ain't going up there. Fuck that. What are you trying to do? Make all the fucking... Oh, that's for the drug dealers, right? The drug dealers that can't figure out how to fucking get up there on their own because they're adults. No, that's for the little kids to become drug dealers, right? Right? Fuck off. You think I don't know what you're doing? The line will never pay for itself. The stops... Oh, God, how to explain this? There's less people. There's a lower percentage of people that are going to ride it. And there's less people per, let's say, linear mile of subway line or per stop, however you want to phrase it. You have to build more linear miles to get to each stop and further apart. That's right. Yeah, so it costs about 50% more in between each. So these costs add up. Our line, the Eglinton West subway line, they built 5 stations. That's what you do. You put the stations first. You don't build the pipeline and then the facility it connects to, you fucking idiot. Oh, we got to get these Indians out of here so we can run this pipeline. To where? Where's the pipeline going? Where's it coming from? Nowhere? To nothing? Wow. You keep doing that hiccup thing, officer. Oh, I'm not an officer. I'm a civilian. Man, you're wearing the same uniform. Yes, you are. You keep telling us if we wear the fucking same thing and do the same thing, it's our own fault. So that's how Indians do things. Oh, you're a bunch of heathen street niggers. No. We can't be running around. See, we didn't have computers and radar and spy planes and all that shit. So when your people fucks around with us, we don't go find him. We find one of your people. What do we find first? And where we find them, we leave them. That's where the Italians got that from. You could ask them. They don't say that in Italy. Where we find you, we're going to leave you. They don't say that in New York, do they? Say it in Quebec. Mohawks and Micmacs. And maybe they got it off the Mohawk, but this is the way we do things. We're not dragging your ass back to have a trial either, and we're not fucking gonna go have a diplomatic meeting with your people either. Oh, this keeps everybody in line, because I know if I fuck around with you, you're not gonna hurt me, because you probably won't find me. You probably hurt somebody else. Keeps everybody in line, don't it? And we're constantly, oh, well, that was some other cop. You can't blame me for... No, you're a representative of the government here right now. Well, actually, I'm here to keep you safe. No, you're not. That's not what the law says. It's not your job description. Nothing. So how the fuck are you here to keep me safe? No, that's in your book of whatever from the private career college in so-called policing and or law enforcement. We're not the Micmac Law Enforcement Society. We're the Micmac Police Warrior Society. Military police captains, U.S. Army, thank you. Fuck you, I don't care if you like it. Oh, you're wearing the wrong uniform. In 2014, they came on and said all the CF do not wear your uniform. Unless if you're on duty and they tell you where you otherwise, no uniform, don't they? You can wear the dog tags, but you keep them hidden. You don't walk around with that shit showing. Why? Because there's terrorists running around killing CF members. Oh. Well, I'm supposed to have some proper U.S. Army's uniform or what? The fuck are you talking about? The same idiot. First thing out of her mouth is, nobody would have sex with you. The first thing out of her mouth. Oh, I got bandanas on and I'm telling her to stop bothering somebody, her and her fucking stupid gigantic friend to stop fucking bothering homeboy. They're screaming at the security guard about a fucking note that went up on the fucking building to avoid having outside people to the building. Yeah, because there's a viral epidemic. Why are they screaming at him? Right. Right. And he's repeating them over and over. And because he's African and he phrases things a certain way, you can understand him perfectly. He's now trying to explain the difference between a law and a regulation. Yeah, what's that got to do with it? Nothing. These idiots are fucking on him. First they go, nobody would have sex with you. I make a comment about MMIW. She doesn't understand the reference I just made. I said, nobody will miss you. You'll just be another dead indigenous one. Oh, I wish I was indigenous. She's Latino. Right? Well, I'm not. I'm Spanish. I'm white, not indigenous, right? Who's more racist, me or her? I know everything I just said is horrible. These are custies bothering security guards that are just trying to do their jobs. No, I thought she would have got the hint when I said I meant like 4,000 MMIW. The response was supposed to be it's 1,100 or 900 or 700. That number keeps dropping. It was 4,000 and change It's now under 1,000. It's 900. They came out and said it was 900 last time. They haven't mentioned it since. Yes, they did. So who's worse? I don't go running around murdering women and raping them and shit. And the only reason I say who's worse is because this is on a private server where somebody's gonna complain and say this and that. Yeah, put it in the context, and then I delete it all. I gotta do it again. I've been at this a long time. I don't gotta spit. I can talk and still eat. You spit in my hair. No, what did he say? I hate it when people spit in my hair. Bro, what happened to you last night? You were yelling at You're the dumbass spit in my hair. Oh, you have the right to shut up. See, this is Canada. I hate it when people spit in my hair. Bro, you have a mental issue. Eh? You and your boyfriend need to have some counseling. They're all gay. They're all gay. That's why they keep harassing gay people. They're fucked up in the head. Gay people are lying when they say they're harassed by the cops. Hey, you buy one of these every day, expecting to get a different story. I open up the centerfold, remember who I am, see my boys' names in the paper with, what's that, half a ton of marijuana and, I almost said a ton, but it's not. It's, I almost said it's, you know, see, I like that here. Doug, you don't do that, son, don't do that. So when you come through the trap, you got the strap, it will put you in wall in that old hat. That snap back with the don't shake taste in the back. We'll leave the old shake in the back of your head, back in that box you got something. We the Gully Demons on our way to the Gully Demon Church. Oh, these are the same 3 or 4 tracks that exist today. Oh yeah, I did the Wabanaki Cipher. The Wabanaki Cipher. Decade of Dope. Oh yeah, these guys hate when tracks are like that. They hate cruising through the hood. Here's the thing with that track. Those C8s are AR-15s, essentially. The Colt Canada version of the M4. Yeah, the AR-15 carbine. Shorter barrel. It's the same as you see it. Oh, yeah, basically. That's what the cops have in between the 2 front seats. Oh, they had. I don't know what happened, but it used to be rocked. This guy's driving the car like this. Like, look at, well, I guess his legs are across. It's your dog. He's driving the cruiser with his hand like this to the side on the gun, playing with the gun while he's driving, playing with the barrel. But what's wrong with that? Yeah, if you saw that, you'd be like, that's not against the rules. He's not a Vietnam vet, and that's the gun he had all the time. These are brand new things that the cops just got, and they're playing with them like they're playing with their boyfriend's dick. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, it's sexual. If you look at this, like, what the fuck's this guy doing? He's supposed to be driving a car. Halfway through, he's like, oh, I forgot. I'm going to turn the video on. Oh, you're going to turn it on for me. Thank you. I feel so much safer now. Listen to the radio. There's people robbing liquor stores. Over the radio, they tell you, yeah, send it in by email. He's gonna send in the video by email. Yeah, they're not even gonna go look for the fucking people. But 6 of these cocksuckers taken to the hospital because of some story about me chasing somebody that on the video never happened. The video's in the hallway, it never happened. She just straight up lied to a JP, they never bothered to check. Oh, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen in Canada. Oh, but it's not a criminal charge. Oh, you're right, so I can't fight it and meet it, can I? Although I did it that time, they fucked up because she did that. Now they can't come at me anymore with this mental health record because I proved that the allegations are true. I'm not a danger to nobody, and their allegations aren't true. That's what's the last time I went, we won at the tribunal, which negates everything they said at the first time. No. Once I beat it the first time and just got out, they would just come back again later. They can't do that. They can't do that now because it shows a pattern of harassment.
Black bandana, black and green bandana, 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 black bandana.
They told you to leave the black death rocks in the ground, but you picked them up and smoked everything you
black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, and again shit, and the real
all these parasites died when they did a bite.
Let it bang shit, let your colors hang shit, on the great shit, chopper stick and plain shit, know you hate shit, know you mad today, bitch, we done made it, off the block we skated, Massachusetts, made its way to New York State, was a peace gang, we can take this whole country, one block at a time, bricks in halves, quarters dimes, flip it one more time, stacking paper, God bless crime, facts like shit,
yes, God bless the whole crowd, who's got no witness, no God, so
black bandana, black and green bandana, 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 black bandana,
the lyrics, I mean, I believe it.
black and green,
I hope you buzz right in the
black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, black bandana, black bandana, black and green, Tony Montana.
See, they allow certain types of things to be public. Like, they can't outright just, oh, the police don't like this record, so they're not going to sell it. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. They'll find ways to, if you say things about anybody, they'll find a way to stop you from saying it, right? But it's not so simple. Oh, the government don't like it, they're just going to shut it up. It's not that simple. As Trump is finding out with Twitter. Yeah, you can sort of, you can do whatever you want, so can Twitter. And yeah, you go tell all these other countries to go find which server's plugged into, unplug it, and then when it jumps to a different server, find out, yeah, that's really going to work. All that shit I just spit about not getting caught by the cops and all that shit. So, you have to have a permit, blah, blah, blah. I believe it was Cannabis Culture magazine, but it doesn't matter which one. Way back in the day, they told us that they were guarding the crops in California, supposedly legal California, with AK-47s. Oh, the truth comes out. You don't find these stories everywhere. So all that shit, oh, I hope this, I hope that, fuck that. If they do that down there, we do that up here. As above, so below, motherfucker.
Got your shit on us now. Throw children in the car because we get no fuck. Throw up the flag, throw up your signs and represent. We with the crew, no KT guns, slit your neck.
It happens.
We dangerous like Buster Bus in 97. We aim to bust it.
Shut up the playground. They got that goof thing.
Like you get the fact of fucking white. I got that hard, that soft, that put that fucking white. In my kitchen, serving fiends, feeding addiction. My money straight, this life I lead the fucking bitchin'. I wave from flags, black and green like LA Crips. But we ain't done this puzzle piece gang New York, bitch. Black bandana, black and green bandana. 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 Black bandana, black bandana, black and green. 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 Black bandana, black and green bandana. 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 Black bandana, black bandana, black and green. 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 Black bandana, black and green bandana. Black bandana, black and green bandana. Black bandana, black and green bandana.
Darlene Minitel is country manager with Manpower Group Canada.
When we did the Q3 outlook,
Country
it was
manager.
employment hiring, we had a 21% decrease compared to Q3 of 2019, and we got a further decline of about 19 percentage points from Q2. So over 71% of our employers who were surveyed, business as a result of COVID went to a complete halt around mid-March.
So nobody's losing because you all stopped at the same time, man. Y'all got to chill out with that. I want my full prorated.
But some industries are hiring.
The manufacturing and the non-durable sectors report the highest outlook of hiring, followed then by the service sector, and the construction sector anticipates a bleak outlook, probably the weakest of all the sectors in Canada.
Okay,
That's
so
why the
based on
city and the
this, what
province
is your
have been working
advice
like
to job
crazy
seekers?
right now to
Even
fix
in
everything.
this,
That's got to be once.
economic and health crisis that we're in now.
Big
There
gaps.
are
Things fall apart. The construction workers
organizations
find
and
different work
companies,
if they can.
particularly those that are supporting the health sector, are hiring. So there are opportunities. Those that have been laid off and are just looking for work to upgrade their skills, where should they focus their either training
like if you got
upgrades
caught
that they
stealing
may need to
drugs
get
to
there?
do it for rehab,
Really
you never work here again.
who's
I want to check
hiring
into that. They might.
and where they're hiring. And if they
You
don't
stay
have
clean,
the
you never know.
skills necessary for the jobs that are hiring, then I would suggest that they take a look seriously at training.
Darlene Minitel is country manager with Manpower Group Canada. And at the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.
Even if you love
I know it's a
renovating,
moot point. They can't
sometimes
fire
it
you
helps to
for fucking
hire a
having a drug
professional,
addiction.
just like I did for this radio ad. Dennis, could you read the next bit?
Certainly. Until July 1st at Rona and Lowe's, it's the Installation Services Blitz. Get 10% back on a Rona and Lowe's gift card for any air conditioning, roofing, or kitchen installation project. Scotch certified installers are
Got it for the low, got it for the low. What you really know, I got all the snow. Come right off the boat, come right off the boat. Come right off the boat, come right off the boat.
Automatic metal and the
This year you already know. I feel like I've been the GOAT. I know I can hold my own. I know I can hold my own. All I know that crime pays. I'ma get
28.3 degrees.
I'm cruising down the highway.
3.999 volts. 666. Right? Just tripping.
All I know that crime pays. Get on the 5 ways. I'm cruising down the highway. I'ma get it one day. Yeah, they talk it, but they never lived it. I've been gunning for them 7 digits. Came back with a better vision. I ain't never switching. I'ma get this chicken. Crime pays, that's my way. Trying to tell them, but they never listen. Fuck the ops, fuck the cops. I'ma make a million when a Merry Christmas. I've been on this since Dipset. How they wanna get their lips wet. All these bitches used to try to swear me. Now I'm flexing on them with this pimp set. All I know that crime pays. I'ma get it one day. I'm cruising down the highway. All I know that crime pays. Get on the driveway. I'm cruising down
This hour. A busy night for Toronto police who have been investigating multiple shootings across the city. One main victim remains in hospital with serious gunshot wounds. The City of Toronto has unveiled a new online COVID-19 dashboard created to monitor the state of the city.
A drink on the restaurant patio for some,
It's not
but not for
infected, it's
all.
not pus. It's all
People
water.
in Toronto and the Golden Horseshoe have not entered stage 2. We're checking in with folks in Cambridge who have.
It might not be the news parents want to hear. The message from Mayor Tory, who says the city is not yet ready to reopen childcare centers. Instead, a gradual restart will begin June 29th.
Vegas gets the nod, while Major League Baseball makes yet another offer to its players. Sports at 15.
And coming up in business, what do Tim Hortons and Kim Mitchell have in common? They both love patios.
I can't get away with playing Ice Cube. If I could, I don't know what I gotta do with it. Don't you like? No, they play all the goddamn time and tell you like it over and over, so you know this is good because they get $30 every time that 2-second thing plays. Fuck God.
Come right off the boat, come right off the boat.
Because the government subsidizes white people with Indian money at every chance. You buy blank CDs to fucking put out your music, you first must pay the levy to the record companies that you're competing with. First! It's paid when it comes into the country, bro.
I'ma get it one day.
Well, that's an artist. It comes out to the companies. Who they pay it to? If they pay it out. Hundreds of millions.
They talk, but they never lived it. I've been gunning for them 7 digits. Came back with a better vision. I ain't never switching. I'ma get this chicken. Crime pays, that's my way. Try to tell them, but they never listen. Fuck the ops, fuck the cops. I'ma make a millions with a Merry Christmas. I've been on it since Dipset. How they wanna get their lips wet. All these bitches used to try to swear me. Now I'm flexing on them with this pimp set. All I know that crime pays. I'ma get it one day. I'm cruising down the highway. All I know that crime pays. Yeah, I'm on the 5-way. I'm cruising down the highway. I'ma get it one day. All I know that crime pays. I'ma get it one day. I'm cruising down the highway. All I know that crime pays. Yeah, I'm on the 5-way. I'm cruising down the highway. I'ma get it one day. If I die before I wake, pray to the Lord.
I don't throw that shit in nothing either. I don't know why you guys throw that in there. See, everybody west of here fucking has this Bible thing. It's got nothing to do with Jesus. Ask the British. These Indians are already wearing crosses. You won't die.
Top tier toe tagging, coke magnum, coke banding, park running yard after somersault of Volkswagen, no bragging. I'm the hottest up on the table. Stock candy million, the props like
these guys got 6 fingers.
cash, will it jump a trillion dollars? So we can't share tracks because we run a different circles. Journals full of classics, livers full of greatest. Got so many pictures, I'ma give some to the neighbors. The realest in the business, all filled with imitators. Cause we're all stuck with cars, they dealing with the brain. Yo, fuck the hook stuff. Still make it sound tight. Anybody with a real one sound like. Cloud nine rap, hit him with his real strike. On the ground plate, we're giving them a round play. Well, there's a way, but don't get in the way of our grip. Cause if you do, that's the thing you get killed. That's the thing with your grip. The game is for real. Everyone's like a bullet in your brain against skill. And the chamber is built to make the rock real. And the apples, let's get this shit cracked. It's amongst the mind. You pass the mind, I don't want it close. I don't want it. Now you're in the senses.
Wild enemies. They got best friends. I came up out of an egg, and that's how I handle it.
Still make it sound tight. CIA with a real one sound like. Cloud nine rappers hit him with a ground strike. On the runway, we giving them a round play.
Where are you?
You too.
Jail Sandals, I got the drum too. Roll up.
Cold nights, rock thermals, I'm nocturnal. Parole life, we hot pearls, the block's fertile. Hot pearls like slot circle and crop circles. Shots burrow when a cop's not hot inferno. Crawl through the depths where they won't protect you.
When he says jail sandals, you go, jail sandals. If you're not from here, jail sandals. No, them stupid blue and white things are the shoes. You pay like $6 or some bullshit, and you can get yourself some sandals from Canteen. It's the stupidest. And so you can go in and out of the shower, and your feet don't have to touch the floor. You pay extra for hygiene. I'm not even playing. Yeah, that's For real shit. No, I'm lucky. I got I inherited the slave skin. It looks white, but I'm telling you, you can't have this shit. Look at the fucking razor cut that I fucking did in front of you. I don't remember which finger it was now. That's what I'm talking about. Is fucking I'm paying you for shoes. I walk around barefoot. Oh, what if you know? Yeah, if you're worried about it, you wear the sandals. Stupid.
Still make it sound tight. Ain't stuck with a real one sound like. Cloud got a rap, hit him with a crowd strike. On the one way, we giving them a real flight. Bitch, a lingerie, cruising on my way to Scotland. James Harden, rockin' shot, going in, don't try to guard him, beg your pardon. T-Gram, fuck your name, Doc's finest. Everything you drop, Thomas, it's just 5 minus. Fiends sniffing, they sniffing without his not sinus. I play chairs over Anstey and I rock climbing. Fuck the clock, shit is over when I stop rhyming. All day I'm shutting down these slots off and pumping. It's bumping, just speed up, pops and jumping. Fuck about my trap now, if you ain't copping nothing. Half a bird and gay, probably rocking something. Rocking stuff, knocking on the phantom with the opera running. The cost of nothing is the most expensive. Trust the trench, I'm pulling hoping that
what would they need a flashlight on the phone for?
Clip full of stencil passing through like this load. Hey, yo, make a hook straight balls and still make it.
Maybe they'll be making videos and they can't. Why would they make videos?
Hit it with a ground straight. On the one way, we giving them a round flight.
They had video cell phones in '94 in Japan. Don't give me this technology. Technology hasn't gotten the way it is. Yeah, you see that what's wearing jail shoes and jail sandals? You say nothing. Oh, your jumpsuit. Fuck off. You're just showing that you're the new guy. Think the guys in the sandals didn't see me in the jumpsuit? We didn't say nothing to each other. Oh, you think you're a prisoner? You think you're free? Stupid.
You worried if you cut from the same cloth.
I'm trying to get to Somalia. This moron comes in.
Niggas merely rock on your block with a chain on just to get hit up, can't make it. Like Trayvon, just stay calm. Niggas got gay on the stove top. Metal like Cragons, turning them heat rays on. They paid on debts and purchased more. Thought they only wanted 2 ounces for purchase for. You know we only wanted new houses that's on the shore. But my lawyer gotta study evidence in the court. 2-door sport in the coupe, playing these greasy loops. After every time I shoot, that ski mask turn to a 2. Still running that nation of domination for Rook. P89 and that barrel slide is too cute. Hit up in the dome when they tried ducking. Still better than just standing there and trying nothing. Kill them little pups, I'm a G-dog. I have him in the streets playing leapfrog.
He's like running and screaming.
For a Tesla, pulling up the bulldog is parked like a Presna. Let me tell you how I feel. You niggas ain't real. That shot ate your food like a meal.
I can see you in the dark.
Let me tell you how I feel. You niggas ain't real. That shot ate your food like a meal. Hold on, let me get some pimpin'. Fuck you think you're doing that? I pull up in a Buick, blast this music, you know how we do it. Yeah. Like Montel Jordan and these Jordans, all these bitches is swarming, and still I ignore them. Yeah. Cause all these girls boring. Yeah. Anytime I come through, making girls get a bullshit. Push, Charlie, you know me, rolling in a Harley with short. I just hope you got the 40. 20 niggas in dark clothes, and that's what we learning. You should hear the arrogant names these niggas recall. And that bitch is on call. Before Asian or Dream, we had a battery dog. Fuck them up, middle fingers for law. Win with the blasting block, hopping out of a car. I was asking them what's up with the top. Passerbys ask police what's up with the chop.
Don't worry, we're blessed in the
Another
morning
fighter, just another day. You acting like you ain't even know the war was underway. That's when we hit you from a blind side. Sitting in the jail and even thinking how the time flies. Let me tell you how I felt. You niggas ain't real. That shot hit your food like a meal. Let me tell you how I feel. You niggas ain't real. That shot ate your food like a meal. I know they thought they were finished, they came with 3 rounds. Straight up out of G-Town, trains going eastbound. They used to talk about
32 seconds long,
know
it looks
it's me now. Package get caught across the border, that's how we rebound. F-14 gets Brony, AR Paisley, Dre Bars, we the hardest up in these streets now. You best not trespass here, baby, just keep out. We ain't fucking around with the steering if we gon' wheel out. You ain't got the metaphor, nigga, that's when that skill out. Big clock, big shot, knocking all of your teeth out.
All of them?
By now you know they all got hit. They got no bars, but all got beats. Trap music.
Are you not the loneliest fruit fly? How do you keep reproducing? There's only one of you. I can see you, stupid. I got 20,000 whatever vision you have. Somebody has a piece of fruit on this floor. I swear to God. No, every day there's one fruit fly, and then maybe I see two. Then
all I have in this world is my thoughts and my word, and I don't break them for no one. You understand?
The odd time I see. Hold on. It doesn't work that way. You don't get 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1. Hold on. The ones don't exist. How the fuck? They must live a lot longer than they're telling us. I could have swore I saw that thing get bigger in age. What the fuck's going on?
That's the choice you make, and that's the price you fucking pay. Like, I just had a premonition last night. That's when I started reminiscing last night. I had homie stab me in my back twice. That's the choice you make, and that's the price you fucking pay. Like this, that, doing donuts in the lot. Don't stop at a red light. Stop, fucking flock on the flock. Jabber walk on the clock. Mama said, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck is it doing? I don't know, go hand in yeah, you were saying, and what you saying, turn back to the crib, big bucks, I'm only with a couple girls, I'm better with another one, piece of shit. I had to say,
$30 kilometers. Who says I'm sleeping, motherfucker? No, it was 42,000 degrees and 100% humidity all fucking day. That's when I slept. So get some sleep, man. Keep looking for me. I'm fast.
Currently 11 degrees and over the ocean airport clear skies, currently 9 degrees. Bandages laced with a special healing agent that promotes the formation of new blood vessels could be used to treat people with burns or chronic wounds. Experts from Britain have developed the bandages, which have proven effective at aiding vessel formation in initial tests in a chicken embryo-based membrane model. The treatments could be of particular benefit to those people with diabetes who can often suffer chronic wounds which can take months to heal and risk amputation. Still to come on 680 News. It's a fresh field this weekend with slightly below normal temperatures, but Mother Nature will once again be turning up the heat next week. 680 News time, 2:14.
Thank you, all frontline and
They are studying as to whether they could. This is so disgusting. So I'm gonna give it to you in order. There's all these old people up here dying and getting sick with COVID because these assholes seem to, it almost seems on purpose, just infected them all to hell with COVID. Okay. So in order to prevent all the young people from getting COVID, hold on a second, they're going to take convalescent blood, hold on a second, and give it to people to see. So this is kind of like the antibodies thing. They started off talking like, oh, they're gonna give this to people to prevent them from getting COVID. No. They're giving it to people that already have it. You've already got the virus. They're gonna give you convalescent blood. Well, you're not getting antibodies because you're either the body's already developed them or not. So all you're doing is some sort of weird ceremony where you're taking the blood from somebody you basically sacrificed and putting it in you. And you don't know if they're alive or dead when they're putting this blood in you. This is fucking really weird shit. Really weird shit. This was on the goddamn radio, I swear, like just before I got on here the first time when it took like 45 fucking minutes. Yeah, you think I'm fucking making this up? Convalescent blood was a dead people blood. I don't know if they're taking, they must be taking it from the mother alive or it would fucking be like a bonus, right? Let's take my blood pools up all my life. I'm already dead. You're not listening to this. Oh, he's promoting this and that. No. Talking about the medical condition you're telling me you studied and then tried to keep me from learning about. Right. I'm ignorant. No, I don't know about the article. I bet the white doctor wrote that up. Imagine that white Dutch. Maybe she's not white. She could, but she looks sort of Dutch. I don't know. I wonder. She didn't say nothing about my skin tone or nothing. She said it was the first. I was asking. I was being very blunt. Like, if you don't want to help me, don't. Like, it looks like almost like you don't want to help me. She kept writing. Didn't stop, miss a beat. Kept writing. But she was writing. I said, "This is the first time I've ever encountered this." She's never in her whole career met somebody with sickle cell or diagnosed it or whatever.
The derelict. You're now rocking with the illest.
Oh, I get everything special. That's not always a good thing.
You're now rocking with the illest. Yeah, check it. Yeah, check it. What? Yo,
You think she took a chance and maybe she's wrong? Oh, it's got to be circle soaks. I got lots of experience and maybe I tricked her. But she didn't check like she missed or something. She would not have wrote that down if she wasn't sure. So she must be going by the book. There's the book, that proverbial book. Back when people used to learn the books.
I'm looking for new words. I'm looking for new words. I'm looking for something to write up so I can just splurge. Like every fucking time that I write another line, another rhyme, just to see my fucking mind. Staying sublime with every rhyme that I write. Every time I hit the mic, I get a feeling excited. My heart to make it palpitate, make it jump and thump. Every time I'm bumping something, you gon'
by the way, Britton, what were you doing in China all those centuries?
Some instant hits. You can never get to this, not even a little bit. The derelict, the shaman, and all my homies too, bringing noises through your city that you only wish to. Never achieve. The dreams that you have can't compare. We're blinded, y'all, so be scared of this flare. Yo, welcome to my spot, and I'm rocking with.
I got one, but I've been listening to it for like a long time.
Nah, they couldn't just start cyclic, no?
Free up the youth, then.
See?
Free sick, free sick, free kilo, free kilo, free Johnny, free OG. Go on.
Well, no. That's the other confusion thing.
All black on my clothing. X-Men, that's how we rolled in. Put it to you, have you jumping like the rose in. But you in your mouth, taking all your gold in. Put it to your next man, now it's next frozen. Now I'm dipping in the stolen, dripping in, I'm scoping. I see him leaving open.
Southern Ontario Wednesday night.
That's Environment Canada meteorologist Gerald Chang.
What
he says the cool down will be brief with the warm up next week with the humidity once again making it feel like the 30s. I'm Irene Preplet.
Yeah, it does feel like the 30s. Everybody likes.
You're listening to 680 News at 2:18. There is new research into whether plasma from survivors of COVID-19 can prevent the virus. Here's Ed Donahue.
Survivors like Alex Palmatier in Delaware are donating blood plasma.
So good to be able to do something to help out, just knowing the pain that it really has brought to a lot of people.
Dr. Sean Liu at Mount Sinai Health System says patients have been getting what is called convalescent plasma.
And watching people die is heartbreaking. It's scary and it's heartbreaking, and we just needed to find some hope.
If it works, convalescent plasma could have important ramifications until a vaccine arrives. Dr. Michelle Donato at Hackensack Medical Center says immunity for patients and donors is very important.
You don't get that.
There is little evidence so far the plasma is making a difference. I'm Ed Donahue.
All these weird thoughts about what you can magically do with blood
and donating blood happening this afternoon from 1 until 6 o'clock. There is a blood drive at the Beitul Islam Mosque in Naples.
No, I'm the different doctor. This medicine's different. How's it different?
Organizers say they are hoping to collect over 100 units of blood. Canadian Blood Services has said it needs more blood as elective surgeries resume in hospitals across the country.
These people have to pay sometimes for some of the shit
time
they do.
2:20. The
It's illegal
cases
for them
of the
to pay
four
for
fired Minneapolis police officers charged in the death of George Floyd have been assigned to a Hennepin County judge with experience as both a defense attorney and a prosecutor. All four are to appear before Judge Peter Cahill on June 29th.
They don't get enough, that's
Defense attorneys have 10 days to ask for a new judge, but they have no say in who replaces him. At least one attorney is saying he wouldn't think of removing Cahill. California wineries have started uncorking their bottles and welcoming people back to their taste testing rooms. With COVID-19 cases in the state still growing, the tourism industry is trying to balance how to implement safety measures to control a pandemic without ruining the fun. Joe Weens of Weens Family Cellars said physical distancing restrictions will be in place.
We are limited now that everybody has to be in a seat. You can't crowd, so that's going to limit the amount of people we can serve. But we're going to do our best and try to make everybody happy.
California's billion-dollar tourism industry is gearing up with hotels, zoos, museums, and aquariums also allowed to reopen.
How many billions? She said billions.
680 News Time, 2:21. Time for traffic and weather together on the one. Handing things over to Michael Ranger.
Well, biggest issue on the roads right now, southbound 400 closed from the 407 to the 401. They're doing some road work on Finch for the LRT on the bridge there, so that's the reason for the closure. Northbound 400 through that stretch remains open.
They've been running commercials for 2 days. They didn't mention it.
Southbound on the 400. You will end up on the 407 eastbound or westbound. You can take the prior exit to Highway 7.
The left hand don't know what's going on. Metrolinx is trying to tell you what's going to happen. The radio station claiming to have your back don't tell you shit except for paid advertising.
Line ramp to the highway closed. East 407 ramp to the eastbound 401 that's also shut down. Ramps to and from Winston Churchill are closed, and the eastbound 401 express ramp to the north 404 shut down. Those are all for overnight construction. More ramp closures on the other side of the highway. No access to the west 401 from southbound 418 Curtis Road or northbound Brimley. Collector ramp to the 404 DVP shut down, as is the express ramp to the northbound 404. No access onto the west 401 from southbound Martin Grove. 427 more construction going on there. No access to the north 427 from Finch. 427 ramp to Highway 7 closed. Eastbound Highway 7 ramp to the south 427 is shut down. No access to the westbound 401 from the southbound 427. And the Fuller Street transfer into the collectors from the express on the south 427, that is closed. Those again are all for overnight road work. Next report is at 2:31 with your forecast. Here's Adam.
I want to hear all 60 items.
The weekend on a cool note, 19 in the forecast today.
Big lunch, others no poking. Pop out the pit, the heads open. Let it floating. The body stays stiff in the ocean. Cruising with some deadly fish, so your body ain't exposing. DBS, I was chosen. So I hunt for the golden. And make watch, don't care if it's stolen. But bop, if you owe him. The black flag always hold him. 5 DB we rolling. 10 guns we be holding. 2 each, so we going. A headshot, so you go spin.
Niggas not trying to.
There are about 99 more of those motherfuckers over here.
Get it poppin'. Strap on my waist, you can tell by how I'm walking. Back left, you get lives right in the coffin. I remember I almost got caught slipping shit, had me tripping. On the block I'm sitting. Call it camping, my niggas had me snapping.
I'm not laughing at him, I'm laughing because I don't care about the class. I'm not laughing at him, I'm laughing because I don't care about the class. I'm not looking for a confrontation. You see me walking through your neighborhood at 2 in the morning like I'm looking for a fight. Yeah, I'm on your own. Pussies, I don't know where your grandma lives. Right.
Every nigga I roll with talk scavengers about the strap of your beats, so bad in the caliber. Deal with you right, ain't no getting back at us. Do what I gotta, then I'm dipping in the Avenger. Back to the bricks, doing the usual way. Felt like you was trying to hide, so I had to shoot a few.
You know I don't speak Dutch, right? That's gonna be very disappointing for you when you find that out.
I'm about to get down to my business. Deal with them on the ones, no need for a witness. Hand me the ratchet.
Major roads and bedrock conditions.
Stop complaining every day is a gift every day. No, you got myself in the kitchen. Fiends everywhere. Pots whipping. I wanna eat rich, but a nigga hate ditching. The strap I got on my waist stays kicking, and I be trained so I aim with precision.
Motherfuckers think every time somebody asks on the phone about drugs, oh, it's drug slam. And they're always coffee on. Motherfuckers, what is drugs? I think you coffee most of the time. It's not phone.
Double lemon DBS, know that we bang. Get it in G.O. everywhere that we go. Niggas know how we roll. Deeper than the heart. Before I let the heat blow. Creeping on you motherfuckers just.
I just listen to what I like. Yeah, it just turns out all these people are sort of somewhat we don't
rise. Drop it. Yeah. Low rise records, baby. It's the LOWRYZE. Make a MC freeze, bitch, believe me. You can only wish to do the things that we do.
we do it. 306, stand up if you're feeling the mood. It's the LOWRYZE. Make a MC sprays, bitch, believe me. You can only wish to do the things that we do in 306, stand up if you're feeling the mood. It's like a movie, how much
black political gangs are, what's the word?
Each song is another brick for the 45.
Congregating? That's a bad word now, but it's not the one I'm thinking of. Associated with the indigenous, what do they call it? Across everything. Eco-terrorists, politically active environmental gangsters. What? It's like they're just making a list of what every native person does. They're just saying they're black people, Chinese people, everybody's saying everybody.
And I'm heavily pursuing the stream, but every fucking time I do it, it seems it gleams past the fucking point of observation. Now I'm steadily taking out you faggots that behave. Make a MC's freeze, bitch, believe me.
That's all the other 600 tribes in the Micmac Gardens. So yeah, you ain't telling them not to do it either. Ask them to play diplomacy and call us up and tell us the back rock. We ain't gonna do that. They aren't a central organization, so nobody can do that. They're taking students that are doing it.
Another 6 scripts on another 6 song. Now I'm rolling with the illest crew in all of Saskatoon. Making hits, making tracks, gonna be famous soon. The tightest tracks you've heard coming from low rise. Gotta please the people's taste, gotta feed their cries. E-Block, Saskatoon, that's a place that's a curve. Cause to make it in this game, you can't be insecure. So many people tend to get lost in the tracks, and then nobody helps them and they don't bring it back. But when you hear these tracks, I feel right at home. It's for all the underdogs so they won't feel alone. Nevertheless, I put my rhymes to the test and invest in the quest of becoming the best. Dreamcast and derelict, bringing you another track, so just turn off your genre if it's something you can hack.
It's the LOWRYZE. Make a MC's freeze, bitch, believe me. You can only wish to do the things that we do in 306, stand up if you're feeling the mood. It's the LOWRYZE. Make a MC's freeze, bitch, believe me. You can only wish to do the things that we do in 306, stand up if you're feeling the mood.
I smoke chronic in hotbox cars, and I still choke writing 16 bars. There's proof of damage, many scars, late at night writing under the stars. Fate fades of war, that's why I'm so hardcore. Truth was bound to be sold in stores. Me and derelict, the definition of evil, fierce to the feeble, like the tip of a needle, the way my flows hit people. I take stages, smear ink all over the pages. You want to battle with the fear of the wages. I'm serving baseless and violent outrages. Psychologists can't even case this. They say everything I write is tasteless. As time, if anyone spent time to educate this, embrace this, like I'm running a 3-ring circus. Everything I drop is surplus, serving its purpose like the Canadian military service. Got you shaking nervous, like there's a hole in your epidermis. No salt for the worthless. Go ahead and say my name, curse it. Couldn't control it, had to disperse it. Now my shirt's ripped.
It's the LOWRYZE. Make a MC's freeze, bitch, believe me. You can only wish to do the things that we do in 306, stand up if you're feeling the mood. It's the LOWRYZE. Make a MC's freeze, bitch, believe me. You can only wish to do the things that we do in 306, stand up if you're feeling the mood.
Degrees. In Milton, clear skies, 8 degrees.
But Malton!
Mississauga, clear, sitting at 9. Oakville, clear skies, 10 degrees. Richmond Hill, clear skies, 8 degrees. Right now, downtown Toronto, clear skies, 11 degrees. The news watch never stops. 680 News is CFTR AM
You don't say rich man's kids,
Toronto.
you say
Those
rich
double
man's hill
tones
kids.
means
Okay, wait a
it's
second. They use
2:30.
extra words to not come in the language. I'm supposed to learn English from these assholes. Oh, it's Canadian English. Really? How long's that been around? How long is that official language been around?
And I'm Jordan Coulter. Here's
Official language of Canada, Canadian French, and Canadian English. Oh, that's
gunfire across the city, keeping Toronto police busy overnight. One of the shootings leaving a male victim in hospital with serious injuries. As the province slowly reopens, the city of Toronto has launched a COVID-19 monitoring dashboard indicating if the city is meeting its goals.
A little stage 2 gloating for everyone outside Toronto and the Golden Horseshoe.
I actually feel for them that they can't be out on their patio.
And shopping malls and getting your hair done. It all feels great
it's
here in
just,
Cambridge.
these people don't want to go to this.
It's
not the rules. It's
Toronto city-run
COVID
childcare
crack
centers won't be ready to start a
fucking
gradual
whatever.
reopening until the end of the month.
people letting the dogs loose. We almost had a garbage. We would have had a garbage strike on top of all these teacher strikes. Yeah, teacher strikes means these fucking kids are running the street. Oh, you want to sit there and enjoy your latte and your whiskey.
Between fighting the pandemic and reopening the economy
pretty
is a false dilemma, according to
You're saying it wrong. No, you're using it wrong. So I'm pronouncing it in English like you do. It's like you do. Oh, you're pronouncing it with a French accent, so it's correct. I'm wrong. No, it's English sentence. Fuck you. I'm not even going to use the language.
Here's Michael Ranger.
Well, southbound 400, it is closed from the 407 to the 401. They're doing some bridge work at Finch for the LRT. Northbound 400 remains open through that stretch, but the ramps to and from Finch are closed. If you are traveling southbound on the 400, your journey will end at the 407. You'll end up either on the eastbound or westbound 407. You can take the exit to the Highway 7 prior to that. Eastbound 401, no access to Gulf Line. Ramp is closed for construction. Southbound
it is $4.99, or it was for a long time.
East 407 ramp to the east 401 also shut down. Ramps to and from Winston Churchill, they are closed as well. And the eastbound 401 express ramp to the north 404 closed. All of those closed for overhead construction. Overhead closures on the highway. Southbound 418 Curtis Road, northbound Bridge, there's no access to West 401. West 401 collector ramp to the 404 DVP. And
what's this name I give a guy with a
404, they're both closed. No access onto the West 401 from southbound Martin Grove. And then we've got more construction going on the 427. Eastbound, westbound Finch ramps to the north 427.
Good thing I'm not doing this on VHS. Oh, you left like 3,000 videos.
Eastbound Highway 7 ramp onto the
I mean, seriously, it's dying. Okay,
no access to the westbound 407. Any transfer into the collectors at Bloor Street, that is shut down as well. All your other major routes problem-free. Next report is at 2:41 with your forecast. Here's Adam Stiles.
Warmer during the day today. Looks like we're heading up to a high temperature, close to 19. Winds out of the northwest up to 30 kilometers per hour. Few clouds passing by into the morning, mainly high cloud cover. That will give way to a sunny afternoon here across the GTA. Today, your high temperature, 19 degrees.
Right now, downtown Toronto, clear skies, currently 11 degrees. And now taking a look over at Pearson Airport, clear skies, 9 degrees. 680 News Time, 2:33. Police are investigating several late-night shootings that took place Friday night. The first one happened just after 9 p.m.
Ha ha, well, no, I'm offended. She just said ha ha. Hold on a second. You can't do that. You're laughing.
With serious but non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. Constable Laura Brabant with Toronto Police says they're asking for your help.
We have the area blocked off for investigation and are asking if anyone has information in relation to the shooting, have video surveillance or dash cam footage to contact police at 42 Division.
Meanwhile, just
you have a 42. Did they reopen 43 too, eh?
North York for reports of a drive-by shooting. Officers.
No, it's been a while. I know it's been over a while. Yeah, to you, it's been a while. It's over to me. It was recently that it closed. Fuck you.
Night, police say they received reports of gunshots in the area of Kingston and Markham Roads in Scarborough, where officers found a bullet casing. There are no reports of victims or suspects in either of these cases at this time. You're listening to 680 News. The city of Toronto launching a new COVID-19 monitoring dashboard as officials work to reopen the city safely. 680's Madison Fitzpatrick has more. Tracking Toronto's efforts to reopen the city has never been easier. The dashboard has 4 main categories covering things like virus spread, lab testing, and the city's health capacity. Those categories will be colored much like a stoplight, green, yellow, and red, to indicate if the city is meeting their goals or trending away from them. Dr. Eileen Davila says the categories don't all have to be green in order to continue reopening the province. The issue is that for those areas that aren't green, it will depend on which one it is. And it just tells us that there are certain areas that require increased focus or increased attention as we seek to move forward with our COVID-19 response objectives and reopening the city. Currently online, the dashboard shows that Toronto's current overall status
that is the part that I think is worth addressing. Not the other part.
At Toronto.ca/COVID-19. I'm Madison Fitzpatrick. Meantime, those teeter-totters and swings are still off limits as playgrounds across Ontario are still no-go zones. And it doesn't matter if you're in stage 1 or 2. Toronto's medical officer of health, Dr. Eileen Davila, says the decision over lifting that restriction will be made by the province's chief medical officer.
What was the other one?
That is an active point of conversation, and I'm sure it will continue to be on a go-forward basis. So right now, outdoor spaces tend to be lower risk, and we'll look forward to see what comes from the public health measures table and their ongoing discussions on that issue. Parks are open in the city, but the playground structures remain closed.
Yeah, it is the same thing. What's the fucking difference? Oh, the other one
You're
is
listening to
Deepwater
680
Black.
News. Well, if you live outside the GTA and Niagara region, you can now get that shiny mess of hair cleaned up, grab a beer on the patio, or maybe even get an anti-COVID-19 tattoo, as most of the province received the go-ahead for Phase 2 of reopening on Friday. But as 680's Mark Douglas tells us, if you live in Toronto and the Golden Horseshoe, you'll have to hold on for a little while longer.
It's still a big no for drinks on a patio, for shopping malls, for hair salons,
Statistically, that's not true. No,
in Toronto and the Golden Horseshoe, those areas still have COVID-19 numbers too high for the province to let them enter Stage 2 of reopening the economy. But just down the 401 from Toronto, right here in Cambridge, it's a Stage 2 party and some pity.
I grew up in Toronto, so I actually feel for them that they can't be out on their patio and doing what we're doing today.
Can I smell bad though?
Kathy here is just grateful to be back inside a shopping mall again.
I need help with my phone, so and I like to do it face to face.
You know what you can't do? You can't smoke while you're doing it.
Each region in Ontario left behind in Stage 1 will be reassessed every Monday by provincial authorities. If, and that's a big if, their pandemic stats have sufficiently dropped, they will be allowed to enter Stage 2 that Friday. In Cambridge, I'm Mark Douglas.
And local moms and dads have something to look forward to in the city of Toronto, which is announcing the gradual reopening of nearly 50 child care centers in a few weeks.
Nearly 50, 47. That rounds to 45. Hey, if we're going to keep rounding 9 minutes down to 8, that rounds to 45, because there's no penny. See how you fuck with, there's no penny. That doesn't apply, does it?
City-run child care centers.
Toronto Children's Services and its child care operators will need time to organize and to make sure that the requirements laid out by the province and by public health are implemented prior to the reopening.
Mayor John Tory says these guidelines include screening staff and children before entering, enhanced cleaning measures, and the
that screening before entering shit is superfluous. There's no, everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Funds, Tory ensures
put it signs on the fucking door, and then put them on the next door, and then put them on the next door, because there's always 3
open at the end
doors.
of this month, with 10 more in July, 19 in September, and the remaining 7 need further analysis by the city. I'm Michelle Mackey.
Toronto police are looking for a 16-year-old boy last seen in Quebec. Authorities say Zachary Bruno got on a bus bound for Toronto at the West Montreal station on June the 5th. He's believed to be still in Toronto. He was last seen wearing a mask, black hoodie, black backpack, and white sneakers. A photo can be found at 680news.com. If you see him, contact police. You're listening to 680 News. A new report on anti-Black and systemic racism at the Peel District School Board finds that the school board is dysfunctional and unwilling to tackle these issues. Faiza Amin of City News spoke to a parent and community activist. There are calls to remove key leaders in the Peel District School Board, the Director of Education, the board's chair, and the vice chair, following a scathing report that shows there's deep division in the PDSB.
What's concerning is how this can still be going on. How the board can be allowed to be controlled by 3 people who, because of the power they have, refuse to work with the rest of the trustees.
In recent years, parents, teachers, and over 24 advocacy groups have raised concerns around anti-Black and Indigenous racism and Islamophobia across the school board.
Oh, yeah, there's that too.
A 6-year-old Black student being handcuffed and shackled at her school by police back in 2016. The Ontario Human Rights Tribunal ruled race was a factor.
I've seen the Muslims highlights much of what the last 6 months, like from New Year's on, we're gonna go clean up garbage and do this. People fucking just
weather forecast.
Get on people, don't take it up. Oh, them with their turbans and whatever. Well, actually, those are Sikhs and those are they identify as warriors. Muslims too, but that's another story.
Now the 680 News gas price update on processed price went down 3 cents at midnight to 97.9 cents a liter at most GTA stations. Traffic and weather together next. 680 News time.
time, 2:40.
Ontario, you're making a difference to keep people
don't
safe
have to
from
wait with each other. We
COVID-19,
both
and
saw
we
each other,
all need
didn't
to
we?
continue our efforts to protect each other.
touch that
Get
truck.
tested if you're worried you may
We don't
have
need to touch. Don't
COVID-19
touch the
or
fucking
have been
truck.
exposed
This
to
ain't
the
fucking
virus.
Detroit. It is-
Practice
this is
physical
Detroit. This is
distancing,
North
stay
Detroit.
2
We
meters
don't need
apart,
the cops.
wear a
You
face
don't
covering
think
when
the
physical
cops call.
distancing is a challenge, and continue to wash hands
We
frequently.
start yelling when the cops show
Inside
up. I'm
or
all
out,
right,
stay
officer. We're
safe.
good. We're
Save
two guys
lives.
beating the fuck out of
Learn
each other. Oh,
more
we're
at
good, officer. Have a nice no. We're
Ontario.ca/coronavirus.
good.
Paid
We're
for
good.
by the government of Ontario.
You see me making a scene of things because it's race-based and it's fucking over and over. They're calling the cops on
Together on the ones,
me.
here's Michael Ranger.
If I call the cops, nothing
on
happens.
the
I'm constantly
400
going, they're
stretch of
gonna
it closed from the
don't forget
407
it's
to the
one of the I
401.
try
This
to
is
put the
because
whole
they're doing some
story on.
work.
That's the other
The
reason.
bridge going over
I
Finch, some
thought I was
LRT
doing
work,
this
and
for
that's
cell
going to be
phones
shut
and
down,
shit.
scheduled to be shut
That's
down until
recording
Monday
stuff.
morning. Northbound is still open, but the ramps to and from Finch are closed. If you are traveling southbound again, your journey will end at the 407, so you'll end up either on the eastbound or westbound 407. You can take the exit to Highway 7 prior to that as well.
What have you got a fucking transponder, eh? Everybody listen to you, ain't bro. Every car come with a hand.
Southbound Gulf Line ramp to the highway also closed. East 407 ramp to the eastbound 401, that is closed. Ramps to and from Winston Churchill shut down. The East 401 express ramp to the North 404 closed. That's all for overnight construction. More ramp closures other side of the highway. No access onto the highway from southbound 418 Curtis Road or northbound Brimley. Westbound 401 collector ramp to the 404 DVP and the express ramp to the North 404. They're both shut down. No access onto the West 401 from southbound Martin Grove. Again, all of those ramp closures for overnight road work. 427, that's another spot where we've got quite a bit of construction going on.
My mom still drinks like regularly.
No
It
access
hasn't
on
had
the
to take
highway
the
from
fucking
eastbound Highway 7
diabetes
ramp to the West 407 shut down. Transfer into the collectors at Bloor Street is
some blood
closed.
sugar
Other side of the
no.
highway, eastbound and westbound Finch ramps to the North 427 closed, and there's no access to Highway 7. Next report is at 2:51 with the forecast. Here's Adam Stiles.
19 degrees in the forecast today. Looks like we're going to see a round of sunshine into the afternoon after a couple of morning clouds. Winds out of the northwest up to about 30 kilometers per hour. Tonight it'll be clear if you want to do some stargazing. Down to 7 degrees though.
I can tell you what it looks like, or I can tell you what they are. No, I'm not
Early
telling
tea
you.
time looks like it is going to be long sleeves needed. Daytime highs near 21 degrees.
40 years of
sunshine
diabetes, no
on the
medication.
way for your Sunday. Today we're heading up to a high temperature of 19.
See, none of
And
us
right now
regular
in
ass rich
downtown
people
Toronto, a clear
/ white
sky and
people
11
would
degrees. Similar conditions at Pearson
go
Airport
without the
and 9
medication
degrees.
and also not
6:80
spend
news
the money on
time,
something stupid like
2:43.
getting drunk or
If
whatever.
you've got conference calls
actually
scheduled
survive.
between serving lunch, teaching, and
At
working
least
out,
they got the
we get
medical
it.
help.
We
They
can't
deny
help
it
with
to us.
everything, but we
And act
can
like
make
we're
sure
doing
your
bad
family
things
is
for ourselves.
protected.
Oh, well,
RBC Insurance is here to help you get it. Book an insurance check-in at rbcinsurance.com/check-in.
Even if you love renovating, sometimes it helps to hire a
That
professional.
flashing is
Just
distracting
like
me.
I did for this radio ad. Dennis, could you read the next bit?
Certainly. Until July 1st at Rona and Lowe's,
Guaranteed
it's the
Dennis is
Installation
black.
Services Blitz. Get 10% back on a Rona or Lowe's gift
And
card
if
for
not, I
any air
think he
conditioning,
might
roofing, or
qualify
kitchen installation
anyway,
project.
like
Plus, our
honorary.
certified installers
Dennis,
are
can you
trained to
finish
apply
this
strict health and
certainly?
safety measures.
But if he slurred one word or made one little slip, oh, Dennis, you're slipping, dog.
Zone News Radio, 680 News.
It's
Give us
11
something
degrees
useful.
and clear in downtown Toronto. Good morning from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Veronica Thor. Here are the top stories this hour. From Scarborough to North York, Toronto police investigating several late-night shootings. The first at Finch and Markham
Isn't
Road
this when you
around
wanted
9
them to
o'clock,
happen? You
leaving a
kept
man in
bitching about
hospital
broad
with
day, didn't you?
serious
You haven't
but
bitched with it.
non-life-threatening injuries.
Crazy late night
Officers
shootings.
were also
Nope,
called
just
to the
shootings.
Lawrence and Varna Drive and
They
Kingston and Markham Roads areas
really give
for
these
reports of
messages to
gunfire.
us.
While shell casings were found at both scenes,
Don't
there's
shoot
no
up
reports of
daytime and
injuries.
entertainment district.
Toronto
Shoot
officials
nighttime in
continue
your
to work
fucking
toward
neighborhood.
reopening the city safely. The
See,
city
our
launching a
neighborhood. I'm saying it.
COVID-19
I'm
monitoring
assuming
dashboard. It'll
the
contain
nature
4
of the
main
beast. I'm
categories
assuming
covering
it's
things like virus
street
spread,
level
lab
shit.
testing, and the city's health capacity. And coming up after sports, the latest on protests still happening south of the border, with those opposing police brutality and racial injustice in Seattle turning a neighborhood into an autonomous zone. 680 News Time, 2:45.
Fucking stupid, could have started up a KKK in Alberta.
Now time for 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
I don't think those people are more racist. I think that they're so fucking remote from everybody.
Will be a hub city for
Even the locals were like, really? That hard to fucking do
we should expect the official announcement before June 22nd. The other hub city depends on how the Canadian government chooses to enforce the 14-day quarantine for those entering the country. A 72-game schedule beginning July 14th is the latest proposal for Major League Baseball to the players, according to the Associated Press. The league has offered players 80% of their prorated salary in an effort to start the pandemic-delayed season. The deal is good until Sunday. Corey Connors is the top Canadian at 7 under after 2 rounds of the Charles Schwab Challenge in Fort Worth, Texas. Harold Varner III is the leader at 11 under. Jordan Spieth and Bryson DeChambeau are 1 shot back. And Leipzig topped Hoffenheim 2-0 for the lone game from the Bundesliga. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour. Morning time at sportsnet.ca/FabDaddy.
680 News Time, 2:46.
You'll always be the first to know.
Breaking news when it happens.
680 News.
When it happened. Bullshit. 2 hours. Somebody got shot 2 hours ago, and you waited to tell us because why? Oh, well, the radio's not safe.
Drivers can save 30% just by doing something they're
They
already
say there's a huge presence to avoid the area. If you don't do it, on that 2 hours ago and avoided the area. Why are you people here? They fucking talk to us like it's our fault, but they're in our fucking way. I'll be standing directly in front of my door.
Save 30% with Allstate. For more information, terms and conditions apply.
They treat me like I'm bothering them. Why are you in front of my door?
But hugging's
Tell me there's multiple doors in the hallway. You've never been in a building. Like, where the fuck did these people come
And
from?
baby D drops are easy too. Simply apply just 1 drop where baby feeds. There's no taste, so it doesn't interfere with
Yeah, so
feeding.
they jump out of place. They all used to be like this, it used to be like that. Yeah, flip flops and all this. No, you can't. You know, when you're gonna run into these motherfuckers, these idiots. And they're not always being idiots. Sometimes it's some just regular ass cop going through a door and down the stairway. You want to flip out and no. And other times it's some dummy who fucking jumps out in front of you and acts like he did something to him. What are you doing here?
And police brutality have turned a
What are you
Seattle
doing here?
neighborhood into a ground zero for their
You
protests.
guys are
The
fucked up on
autonomous
drugs,
zone
eh?
near a largely abandoned
I'm
police
where I live,
station
and I don't
came
know you.
after
There's fake
officers
cops
used
running
tear
around all over,
gas,
but by the
pepper
way,
spray, and
sometimes this happens when
flashbang
they're not
devices
uniform.
last weekend to disperse the demonstrators. As ABC's Matt Gutman explains,
Once I
protests
seen
in
them
the
with
city
badges,
continued late
that
into
could
the
be
night.
fake too, for all I know. But that was a real
Thousands of
raid.
protesters on the march in Seattle. Many
All the other things, you need to run around in plain clothes. I'm supposed to believe they're a cop.
It's been hijacked.
I'm a cop
The
too.
message is totally gone on why we were protesting in the first place. Black Lives Matter.
Speakers
No,
are
no,
using
that sounds- I'm
microphones to
starting to think
discuss their
black
demands,
people
while
really are.
protesters
I
say
hate
it shows
that.
how people can manage without
Subtle
police
racism,
intervention.
games of
It's drawing
computers,
scorn from U.S.
logarithms.
President Donald Trump,
These
who has
KKK
repeatedly
motherfuckers
threatened
spend a
to,
lot of time
quote,
hiding in
go
their
in to
houses
stop
in
the
the basement.
anarchists who have taken over the city.
So that is just a
Washington's
comment.
governor and Seattle's mayor have criticized
You
Trump
guys
for
invent this
those
bunker
words.
bullshit in Germany. I got a
Meantime,
book
on the
right here.
campaign trail south
In
of
the
the
back
border,
of
Joe
the in the
Biden's
back of this
list of
third right
potential
fall,
U.S. vice
rise and fall, there's
presidential
like a
nominees
map
has
of like
narrowed.
bunkers.
Democrats with
Racist
knowledge of the
built
process tell the
bunkers.
Associated
So
Press
you get in the back
presumptive
door.
Democratic presidential
Those
nominee
black
Joe
people, they got
Biden's search
the
for a
plumbing
running mate
and
is
all,
entering
they're
a
not
second
gonna do that.
round of vetting.
That's-
After initial interviews, Biden's search committee has narrowed the field to as few as
Or-
6
or-
serious
or what
contenders.
you call
But
them
according to
white
those with
people,
knowledge,
right?
additional candidates
And I'm
could
not
still
gonna
be
name
added.
races
Among those still in
associated with
contention
them,
are
but
Senator
another
Kamala
stereotype.
Harris of California, Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts,
You
and
consider
former
lower
Obama
class,
National
you're gonna have to do
Security
the work for
Advisor
you, so
Susan
yeah, I'm
Rice.
joking.
Biden has said he will pick a woman as his running mate. Mike Gracia, Washington.
What if no woman wants to run for
In
you?
some other international
You're just
news, the
assuming some
Houston
woman
Fire
would, right?
Department says an
That's
early
just
morning
as
explosion
bad.
that heavily damaged a bar and
Also,
some
if you were
homes
for
near that
politics, you
city's
would never
downtown
female running
area
mate.
was intentionally
Find some girl
caused.
to run with you. Oh,
Samantha
Sid
Walter,
said,
who
bro.
lives near the Houston Museum
Say
District
it's
where it took
Come on,
place,
politics,
says she
okay.
felt the blast.
My house shook and I wasn't sure what had happened. So it was a little scary.
Another resident who lives next to the bar
Oh, I say
says the
honey to
explosion
go on
was
the
so
phone.
strong
Sorry,
that
I
it
hear
knocked
people
her
say
out
that
of
in English all the
bed.
time. They don't
No
say that in
injuries were
French either.
reported,
There is
and
no equivalent to
investigators
that.
believe no one was
Cher,
inside that
Cherie,
building
yeah, I didn't say
at the
anything
time.
close. That's way more
Well, an Indigenous rights advocate and lawyer says the violent arrest of Chief Adam is not an isolated incident. 680's Safe Kaiser reports.
I'm saying after every sentence, that just is irritating, but it's not. Oh, that's not about you, so it's okay, right?
Of Chief Adam.
That's Pam Palmater. She's a lawyer in the chair in Indigenous governance at Ryerson.
But more broadly, it confirms the story
Here in
of
Toronto?
thousands of Native peoples all across the country who for decades didn't have the benefit of video footage or cell phones to document what was happening. And it really speaks to a much bigger problem in Canada of RCMP racism and brutality.
She explains the history of the RCMP, saying it was initially known as the Northwest Mounted Police, set up to clear Indigenous lands.
And the RCMP have been involved in brutalizing, killing, and sexually violating our women since that time.
I'm Safe Kaiser.
That's another thing about mixed breeds.
680 News Time, 2:51. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. How are the roads looking out there, Michael?
Well, it's a quiet drive if you are on the major routes, but we do have a lot of construction along the way. A lot of ramps are shut down, and the biggest issue, southbound 400 closed from the 407 to the 401. They're doing some work at Finch for the LRT. So northbound 400 remains open, but ramps
how come niggers get light rail and you get full
the end of the journey is going to be at the 407. You can go eastbound or westbound there, where you can
the density's higher where we are. We get smaller trains.
401, we've got lots of ramps shut down. If you're coming
overcrowding's
unhealthy. The southbound Guelph line ramp onto the highway also closed. East 407 ramp to the East 401 that is shut down. Ramps to and from Winston Churchill closed. And the East 401 express ramp to the North 404 that is shut down. All of those closed for overnight road work. Westbound 401, no access to the highway from southbound 418 Curtis Road or northbound Brimley. West 401 collector ramp to the 404 DVP and the express ramp to the northbound 404. Both of those shut down. No access onto the highway from southbound Martin Grove. And then we've got some more construction going on the 427. Southbound 427 can't get onto the highway from eastbound Highway 7. No access to the west 407. Transfer into the collectors at Bloor Street. That is shut down. Other side of the highway, no access to the northbound 427 from Finch, and the ramp to Highway 7 is closed. Again, all of those ramp closures, overnight road work, all major routes not mentioned are problem free. Next report is at 3:01 with your forecast. Here's Adam Stiles.
Is me spreading the fucking bugs around?
Cloud in the morning will give way to sunshine this afternoon. Below seasonal, your daytime highs 19 for forecast. Northwest wind up to 30 kilometers per hour.
It's so cocky, it's walking real slow.
Down to 7. It's going to be a cool one. If you're out early on Sunday, you may need long sleeves and layers, but by the afternoon, it'll warm up to a high of 21, fairly pleasant, not far off the seasonal mark. Plenty of sunshine. We'll be cooler in short Lake Ontario on Sunday. As we make our way into Monday, it's a sunny sky and heating up a little bit more. 10 degrees in the morning low with a high of 23 in the forecast. If you're waiting on that summer heat,
there's 3,000 species of cockroach.
Stick around. Right through the end of the week.
The one that's a pest, and the next one that's a pest, and braid them together. These ain't fucking Asian or Oriental.
With a clear sky, similar conditions at Pearson Airport, and 9 degrees.
I don't know the Latin names,
and coming up at the top of the hour, the latest on 3 shootings taking place in the city overnight, while leaving a man in hospital with serious injuries. No victims reported in the other 2 incidents, but police say shell casings have been found at both scenes. More on those stories coming up at 3 o'clock. 680 News Time, 254.
Steel Dealer Days are back this spring, featuring our line of steel battery-powered lawnmowers. Make mowing your lawn a breeze.
Nobody's rolling around with their like fingerprints and fucking DNA on the shell case.
7 height adjustments and a mulching blade for $599.95.
You notice a huge difference in the commercial and movie industry movies and the hood movies.
1,000 authorized steel dealers across Canada.
In the hood movies, if somebody cares at all, they got fucking gloves or whatever, something they can throw out. There's no, they didn't touch the bullets, they got nothing, they don't care, they don't care.
This is 680 News.
We're gonna CSI you. Yeah, well, what money?
The Toronto Zoo wants your help naming its newest animal. It's been about a month since the baby Toronto came into the world, and it's still going by Baby Longlegs. Our Jeff Roman is here with the options for its official title.
I mean, I kind of like Baby Longlegs. It's cute. If you've seen the baby giraffe, it's adorable. But it's not going to be the little or not so little giraffes named forever. So the zoo has revealed 8 options
names, and they want us to vote on our favorite. The 8 names are all Swahili. We have the Swahili word for love, hope, and unity. There's Mani, which means peace, Yani, which translates to leaf, Zahara, which is flower, and Mosi, which literally means firstborn. Go to torontozoo.com to cast your vote. I'm Jeff Rahoman.
Coming up in 60 seconds, your 680 News Weekend Business Report.
I'm wrong. I can see I read a lot of books.
Even if
it wasn't
you love
Swahili, the book I read.
sometimes it helps
That's
to
the
hire a
issue right
professional.
there.
Just like I did for this radio ad. Dennis, did you read the next
Google,
bit?
did you? I'm about
Until July 1st.
Oh, you did, but you spelled it the politically correct way.
Get 10% back on a Rona or Lowe's gift card for any air conditioning, roofing, or kitchen installation project. Plus, our certified installers are duly trained to apply strict health and safety measures.
Look at the fucking music videos. Damn it.
Thank you. It was amazing.
Anytime.
Books. Where is Google Books? Maps, because you're lost. Images to keep you distracted. Videos if you can.
Same day, no contact service you can trust for your document storage, shredding, scanning, indexing services, and more. With no monthly admin fees, no minimum order fees, flexible contract terms, and no call centers. So you get direct account management. Shop Canadian. Store Canadian. Visit recordexpress.ca. That's record, XPRESS.ca for their free document storage and free shredding offers. Simply the best. Record Express.
680 News time, 2:56. Now time for the 680 News Weekend Business Report.
I'm Richard Dedman. The OECD warns governments not to withdraw their emergency support too soon, saying it would risk prolonging the economic and social damage from the pandemic. The umbrella group for developed economies rates worldwide output will shrink 6% this year, 8% in Canada,
spending it wrong.
if the virus continues to recede.
Look at all these poor people stealing, and we're not being racist. There's no place for racism right now. There's no place for racism right now.
He's not worried about deflation due to the slump in GDP.
You throw everything you got at the virus. You hit it, you kill it, you win the war against the virus.
And while the
old people think
struggle with economic damage,
I think they got old. They didn't see a whole bunch of people die from dumb shit over their life.
As much as
Yanni, who the fuck is this?
OECD
Am I
countries,
fucked
but
up?
that the impact will linger for longer.
What is this dude?
Aggravated by one particular element, which is very high levels of informality. So even if you have the capacity to write the checks to all these people, you wouldn't even know where to send them, because half of the workforce are not registered anywhere. They're not paying taxes. They're not on the Social Security, etc.
And as some U.S. Republicans call for emergency measures to be scaled back, Gurria warns against looking for a balance between saving lives and restoring economies.
The choice between lives and livelihoods is a false dilemma. The health and the economy go hand in hand. And you have to fight the pandemic first. And that will allow you to pay a lesser price or lower price for the consequences of the pandemic itself, but also to set up the
They
basis
don't understand it. You're real, man.
recovery going forward.
Angel Gurria, Secretary General of the OECD.
He's up at 3 in the morning drinking black coffee, too.
Your home is your castle, your refuge, your safe place.
Quality of life begins at home.
And family safety
Nobody
and
knows that
security
else.
begin at home.
Our job at 1-800-GOT-JUNK is to make junk disappear.
And we're good at it.
Your home will feel bigger.
And cleaner.
And you'll feel happier.
We
No, you're not dumping no junk on my audio. We already got
And your junk won't
You guys are trying to flood the street with junk or something.
past your home.
Well,
You're not coming past our home. You ain't touching nothing of mine, bro. What are you fucking
and our
talking
gloved
about?
professionals touch nothing except the things you want to disappear.
You can count on 1-800-GOT-JUNK to keep you safe.
And you can count on 1-800-GOT-JUNK to not disrupt your household.
These are highly trained professionals
Whose only desires to give you more space
to live
and laugh
and love
and breathe.
in clean, wide open spaces.
That's what you get when the junk is gone.
Multiple shell casings. That tells us a whole lot. So how many revolvers did they use? Oh.
If you refugee, die, know you'll set me high. Big shots, nigga, rep your block. Holding your tongue to play off when the soldiers from. If you refugee, die, know you'll set me high. Big shots, nigga, rep your block. When I get holding your tongue to play.
soldiers.
3 times 7 to knock 11, C7, cock your weapon and start yelling if you rep 27. I got niggas in the front ready and ready to split you down the middle just like a blood to walk without with me. The Lord will not forgive me for shaking up your kidney. Cause you faking and dizzy, my niggas living and shifty, pissy, Billy, Iggy, Shiggy. We don't give a wiggy, but Billy, trying into the city like crack in the 80s. I'm ready to burn in 80s. My dog's effective and ready, not even my father can pay me. You niggas is crazy. I'm gonna fight and learn what these talents do. You could be a
You're supposed to stop playing for a second.
Fixing the government, I'm coming to rally you, massacre, splatter you, run you off of your avenue, while I lavish you. Demonic, tradition, demented, Rogers, my figment, other fulfillers, avious, run you up the district. If you rep the team, I know you set me high. Big shots, nigga, rep your block.
This is not the black and white PlayStation. Big shots, nigga, rep your block.
Cash crops, money growing trees, just turning coke, leaf to crack rock. On the block, get a key and keep it padlocked. Business and animals, watch your dog, jealous rats talk. We pack lunch and smoke weed, we head like Sasquatch. My niggas know this Sunday, think you out of the sandbox. Better yet, I crash your placement on the black box. Because he Charlie train of cocaine higher than that plug, we that hard. You with more clips for instance, the same equivalent as a bed nailing the insects. It's thankless. Most cats is sweet like licorice. I eat niggas too fast, smoke niggas similar to cigarettes. You think me yet? Better catch, give her the ass. I'm low, word fast, leave you colder than the Inuit. Rep the team, dying on your semi high. Big shots, nigga, rep your block. Holding your tongue to play off where the soldiers is from. Rep the team, dying on your semi high. Big shots, nigga, rep your block.
They don't know what you're applying to white or black, they don't know. Now they're really fucked up because they don't know.
Pretty much sending niggas home and checking trees. Niggas by the whole cheers. All we do is hold cheers. Please, you small time like the little leagues. Some niggas bleed when they fuck with me. Turn like a track star when they fuck with me. What's your problem, man? I pat the hollows for the cops only. It's so real in the hood, they call me after still. Beside my after still, I make you feel still in your abs for real. Cook coke like a gourmet chef, perfection. See my dough flow stack up, erection. That's right, shine me getting love for hoes. Attention, we don't love them hoes. Lazy sport.
At least now I know why this shit happens.
Niggas don't want war cause they lack.
You're just sickly.
Yeah, rep the team, dying on your big shots, nigga, rep your block. Holding your tongue to bloody north where the soldiers is from.
The message here was in the Jamaican accent. What's that? You know that bullshit. You didn't CANDU too. You have every access to know. What do you not know? I think he was fucking with me. He's like that too. I think he was fucking with me.
Right now in downtown Toronto, 11 degrees with a clear sky, feeling like 9. And it's 9 at Pearson Airport, also a clear sky, feeling like 6. 6:80 news time, 3:03. Toronto police are investigating several reports of shootings in the city, the first of which happened in Scarborough. Toronto police say the call came in just after 9 o'clock last night for a shooting at Finch Avenue East and Markham Road. A male victim was found and taken to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. There are no details just yet about their age. Meantime, just before 10:30, police were then called to Lawrence and Verna, east of the Allen in North York, for reports of a drive-by shooting. And then just before 11 o'clock, officers received a call for gunshots in the area of Kingston and Markham Roads in Scarborough, where they discovered shell casings. There's no reports of injuries or suspects in either case.
Hey, that's fair.
You're listening to 680 News at 3:04. The city of Toronto is launching a new COVID-19 monitoring dashboard as officials work to reopen the city safely. 680's Madison Fitzpatrick has more.
This new dashboard will explain the current state of the virus spread in the city. It has 4 main categories: virus spread and containment, lab testing, health system capacity, and public health capacity. Dr. Eileen Davila says those categories will be labeled much like a stoplight. The colors we have chosen to indicate our status are green, which is a sign when indicators have met their goals; yellow, which is a sign when indicators have not yet met their goals and still need attention;
and red, which is a sign when indicators are consistently trending away from and not meeting their goals. Currently online, the dashboard shows that Toronto's current overall status is yellow, and none of the four categories are marked as red. You can view the dashboard yourself at toronto.ca/COVID-19.
All the minorities are saying no, don't change
Most
it
of
now.
Ontario outside the GTHA moves into the latest stage of reopening on Friday, meaning patios, salons, and salons are getting back to a new normal yesterday. 680's Mark Douglas is in Cambridge with a look at how that city is faring.
A patio with a drink and a friend
somebody else
in the
typed it
sun
up wrong, and I
out
said
here
it.
in Cambridge in stage 2. It's not just a memory anymore.
Feels great.
How long have you been waiting for this?
3 months.
Do you want to gloat a little
Jesus,
bit
is still
Toronto, or do you?
No, I feel bad for them. Yeah, I feel bad.
Toronto and
Oh, I cringe like that in real life, too. Don't
one
fucking do that
of the
shit to me,
provincial
man.
plan to reopen the economy, so is
Stereo
Windsor.
and shit.
But the rest of Ontario began stage 2 at 12:01 a.m. That means not only restaurant patios, but hair salons, spa treatments, and so much more, all available again.
I'm getting my nails done, and it feels great.
It's going today, today, it's morning, all day today,
Anisha
is Saturday,
here tells
Saturday,
me it's
Saturday,
great to be back inside a shopping mall, but wonders if it could all be locked up again if the pandemic numbers out here spike.
I feel like within a week we're gonna get a second wave.
In Cambridge, I'm Mark Douglas.
Beginning in a couple of weeks, the city of Toronto says it will gradually start to reopen its dozens of child care centers. 680's Michelle Mackey joins us with the latest from Mayor Tory during his city briefing on Friday.
Despite the province giving the okay, Mayor John Tory says Toronto isn't ready to restart its 47 child care centers.
We're asking all the dumb people their opinions. Hey, wait a second. Can you not ask some
while
like
making sure that they will
scientists?
comply with all of the applicable provincial
random dumb
requirements
people on
and
the
public
street.
health guidelines established to stop the spread of COVID-19. This has to be done right.
And in order to do so, Tory says operators
what I'm
will
saying.
need time to implement those guidelines. That's why the gradual reopening won't start until June 29th. That also allows for the emergency child care centers to wrap up.
Why not the
Tory also
30th? What do
promises
we?
to continue advocating for additional support from the
Why
provincial
not
and
the
federal
27th?
governments
What
to
the fuck are
expand
you
child
people?
care in the city.
Yeah, the
Something he
second
says
last
was
day
needed
of
even
the
before
why
the
not the
pandemic
first of the
began.
month? It's Monday. Yeah,
I'm
okay.
Michelle
You're
Mackey.
not going by Mondays for anything this month for
680
some
News
reason. You're going by
Time
Tuesdays, even though this month
Cineworld
started on a Monday.
PLC says it's terminated
Yes,
its
they are, 'cause last
$2.8
month was
billion
Tuesdays.
takeover of
These people make no
Cineplex.
sense.
The decision was made after Cineworld said Cineplex committed certain breaches of the acquisition deal. The UK cinema operator did not outline the specifics of which parts of the
They didn't
transaction.
buy our shit when it became worthless. No, they didn't. We're not taking money
The
today.
company
No, you're
noted that
not.
Cineplex has denied any such breaches. A representative for Cineplex could not immediately be reached for comment. 680 News Time 3:08. With the recent deaths of DeAndre Campbell and Regis Krasinski-Paquette, people are asking, should police officers who discharge their weapon and kill someone be obligated to give a statement to SIU investigators? Janelle Mazza of City News spoke to former investigator Andre Morin about whether or not they should.
The question is being raised once again as the province's police watchdog revealed yesterday that an officer who pulled the trigger at a Brampton complex back in April, killing a young black man, still has not given an interview or provided his note to the Special Investigations Unit 2 months after the incident.
They even provide them with guns, which civilians don't have. And so with that, I think should come increased accountability.
The family of DeAndre Campbell, the man killed by Peel police, say the 26-year-old had mental health issues and was the one who called 911 in the first place for help. Now, Peel police add that officers typically do remain on active duty during the SIU investigations, and that's because they have not yet been found guilty of anything. Janelle Mazza, City News.
The city's active TO initiative is taking place again this weekend, meaning more than 10 kilometers of Toronto streets will be shut down from 6 this morning until 11 tomorrow night. This includes the eastbound lanes of the Lakeshore from Windermere to Stadium and from Leslie to just south of Woodbine. Bayview is also shut down from Front to Rosedale, and River from Gerrard to Bayview is off limits this weekend as well. The city says the goal of active TO is to allow people the space to walk, run, and cycle on city streets, while also practicing proper physical distancing. And if you're planning to take transit to get around this weekend, there's a closure to keep in mind. There will be no service on Line 1. That's the Yonge University line from Shepherd Yonge to St. Clair Station all weekend long. The TTC says it's because of maintenance work. Shuttle buses will be running throughout the closed stretch.
St. Clair West. Very simple name.
This
is 680 this is.
Now,
this
the
is St. Clair on Line 1. And this is St. Clair on Line 1.
The price of gas further dropped 3 cents at midnight to 97.9 cents a liter at most GTA stations. Traffic and weather together next to 680 News Time 310. COVID-19 continues to be a serious health risk. So we have to continue to protect ourselves and others to limit the spread of the disease. That means wearing a non-medical mask or face covering in places like grocery stores and public transit, washing our hands often, and staying home if sick. That's how we'll help keep our loved ones safe. Let's protect each other. Learn more at canada.ca/coronavirus or 1-833-784-4397. A message from the Government of Canada. 680 News Time 3:11. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Michael Ranger.
Well, southbound 400 closed from the 407 to the 401. That continues to be the biggest issue on the roads right now. If you are traveling southbound, at the end of your journey will be at the 407. You're going to end up on the eastbound or westbound 407. If you'd like to get off before that, last opportunity to do so will be at Highway 7.
Hey, some of us do pay for the damn road.
Everything is open, but the rest.
Somebody obviously pays for the fucking road. Everybody's not going to skip out. It goes straight to your house.
On the southbound side of the highway, Finch is closed in both directions going under the 400. Elsewhere, we've just got some ramp closures because of construction. Eastbound 401, no access to Guelph Line. Southbound Guelph Line ramp onto the highway, that is also closed. East 401 express ramp to the north 404 shut down. Looking at the other side of the highway, westbound 401, no access onto the highway from southbound 418 Curtis Road or northbound Brimley. West 401 collector ramp to the 404 DVP shut down. Express ramp to the north 404 also shut down. No access onto the highway from southbound Martin Grove. Looking at the 427, some more ramp closures there. Northbound, no access to the highway from Finch, ramp to Highway 7, that is shut down. And then on the southbound side of the highway, no access onto the highway from eastbound Highway 7. South 427 ramp to the westbound 407 closed. And the transfer into the collectors at Bloor Street, that is closed as well. All your other major routes are problem-free. Next report is at 3:21 with the forecast. Here's Adam Stiles.
We're to start the weekend off on a cool note. Today's high 19. Looks like cloud in the morning. Sunshine on the way for the afternoon. Northwest wind up to 30 kilometers per hour.
The only ones asking
Overnight, it's going to be another cool night. You may not be able to get away with having the window open while you sleep. 7 degrees the morning low. Tomorrow warming up to a high of 21. Winds will shift into the afternoon to the southeast up to 40 kilometers per hour. It's pretty much wall-to-wall sunshine.
40,
today,
when they say 30, I think they said 30, 40,
right now,
50
downtown
last
Toronto,
night.
clear skies, 11 degrees, and over Pearson Airport, clear skies, 9 degrees. Experts in infectious disease are sounding more and more confident that a vaccine for COVID-19 will be ready sooner rather than later. Dr. Gary Kovinger at
Sooner rather than it's just assumed because Ebola, HIV,
development around the world, things are moving very quickly. Kovinger is now working with labs in Canada, the US, Chile, China, Europe, and Africa. He says the pace has picked up so the global population can get back to a normal life. Still to come on 680 News.
Lady Antebellum changing their name to Lady A. Now a blues singer says she's been using that for years. I'm ABC's Dave Packer. That's coming up.
680 News Time, 3:13.
When you use a War Amps key tag, you protect your keys. If you lose your keys, the finder can call the War Amps or drop them in any mailbox. And the War Amps will return them to you by courier for free.
Your business model makes no sense to me. I don't know what to do, but it makes no sense.
Your home is your castle.
He's back and send them money. Spend money on extra keys and send them money because you think it's worth sending them money.
Your home will feel bigger and
Come
cleaner,
on,
and
man.
you'll feel
He's trying to
happier.
keep these fucking bastards,
Give us a
little
call or
bastards.
go to our
Little
website,
bastards
and your
because
job
they're
will
little.
magically
They got wheels, they're faster, eh?
Well, almost.
You run faster. You can go up the stairs, but you gotta run to the damn stairs.
Except that
Fuck
things
you,
you
little
wanted
bastard.
disappear. Call
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
It's 11 degrees. Good morning from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Jordan Coulter. Here are the top stories this hour. Toronto police reporting multiple shootings in the GTA late last night. A male victim was located lying in the road with serious gunshot wounds just after 9 p.m. in the area of Marble Road.
What the fuck?
The second was a reported drive-by shooting in the area of Lawrence Avenue West and Varna Drive in North York just before 10:30. Finally, reports of gunfire in the area of Kingston and Markham Roads just before 11 p.m. also in Scarborough.
I sure things they shoot back and forth. You bet what the fuck you shoot back and forth for? You better not be, I swear to God. Yeah, I'm positioning it in my head.
Reopen the city. It will indicate if the city is meeting
what
its goals or not. The dashboard has 4 main categories covering
whatever you want.
like
I'm just observer that knows a bit more than the fucking cops are going to figure out.
Coming up after sports. For those who want to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the Raptors' historic championship win, you can with a commemorative Nick Nurse bobblehead. 680 News Time, 3:15.
Niggas on the same fucking, y'all on your shit, why you fucking, that don't sound, there's something not right going on.
Las Vegas will be a hub city for NHL playoff games if and when they happen, and we should expect the official announcement before June 22nd, according to Sportsnet's Chris Johnston. The other hub city depends on how the Canadian government chooses to enforce the 14-day quarantine for those entering the country. Major League Baseball has offered players 80% of their prorated salaries and a 72-game schedule beginning July 14th in an effort to start the pandemic-delayed season, according to the Associated Press. The union will now mull over the offer.
We'll find out a long time later. Oh, someone at 11
after 2 rounds
going to get a holiday.
The Charles Schwab Challenge for Texas. Jordan Spieth and Bryson DeChambeau are one swing back. Corey Connors is the top knock at 7 under. And one final to pass your way from the Bundesliga. Leipzig blanked Hoffenheim 2-0. Sports
that thing was about a centimeter long,
or anytime at Sportsnet.ca.
And about a quarter inch wide. I know that doesn't make sense.
680 News Time, 3:17.
When your home is your sanctuary, Allow means your air conditioner needs to work. If you need repairs or a replacement, Reliance Home Comfort answers your call 24/7. We're taking
whatsoever.
We're ready to help with deferred
you got me that big and fat. You just do whatever you want.
As always, you can count on our next day installation guarantee. When you need air conditioner help now, call on Reliance. Financing OAC. Interest accrues from end of deferral period. Conditions apply. See website for details.
Even if you love renovating, sometimes it helps to hire a professional.
Just like I think it's bit me instantly ran, eh?
Could you read the next bit?
Certainly. Until July 1st at Rona and Lowe's, it's the installation services.
You should have done it the other way around.
10% back on a Rona or Lowe's gift card for any air
How the fuck did you end up there? I know you weren't sitting there all fucking
Our
day,
certified installers are duly trained to apply strict health and safety measures.
Wow. Thank you. It was amazing.
Anytime. Conditions apply. Details online.
Yeah, my spleen is to the point of hurting. I can't afford to lose blood cells, can I? No, because every time that happens, a bunch of them explode.
Packer explains why the country music band is now singing the blues over their name change.
I don't care. Whoever the fuck you were, you're not. I don't care who you were. Oh, wait. I'm gonna have to leave that water on there.